Hey, I know you don't smoke weed. I know this. But I'm gonna get you high today. Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Well, it's 420 somewhere.
About to start a little puff giving this motherfucker. I don't give a damn how high you get in mine, as long as you let me hit it.
What's cracking, Raider Nation? We got a special guest, right here already backstage, man. We got a big time, man. He's been, pretty much every game, both games this season, you know what I mean, in Denver and in Buffalo. So, he could give us the first hand of what it was kind of over there. But without further ado, man, shit, he is, man. We got the GOAT 209 right here, man. What's cracking, man?
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me on.
That's it. What's cracking, man? How you doing, man? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Just relaxing.
Chilling?
Been
Yes,
home
sir,
for 3
man.
days and got to turn back around and go back to Vegas this weekekend. So we'll see how that works.
You get the game this weekend?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
I'll be there too, man. Yeah, I'll be there too. We're leaving tomorrow. Now. We're leaving tomorrow, like afternoon, because my brother's getting married out there this weekend too. So he's yeah. So we're gonna do like the whole bachelor thing Friday night, wedding Saturday, and then game Sunday. So it's gonna be a crazy weekend. It's gonna be a good weekend.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, Vegas, man, for sure. But yeah, I should fucking catch up with you guys at the tailgate and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Actually, get a handshake in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can just get that proper introduction type shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's gonna be a crazy week this week, man, because after the week that we last week with Buffalo, the showing, you were there, man. So you got to see it firsthand. It was a pretty ugly showing, especially after the mistakes, the interception, and then just the not able to get him off the field, just the time of possession. It was just an ugly game, I think, all around.
It was bad all around.
Yeah, what do you think? What did you think about the game, man? Just being there, man. Just like how was the atmosphere? How was I know it was crazy for sure. It's Buffalo.
Yeah. I mean, first and foremost, Bill fans, super inviting, super nice. They got that. I thought they're going to be assholes like Yankees fans, man. But I walked in, everybody was super nice. Like some guy that I never even met before. Let me park at his house because he was buddies with one of my friends. Tailgating was absolutely wild. Up and down, probably for a mile one way, a mile down the other way. Tailgates everywhere. Everybody was just having a good time. It wasn't like it reminded me of Oakland. It's probably the closest thing you get to it, but yeah, just a little more spread out than I'd like. I had my kid with me, so it was a lot of walking, going from tailgate to tailgate. And like some of the major tailgates are literally at people's houses near the stadium. It's not like a parking lot.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different. It kind of reminds me of like being in like Boston or something like that. Like literally a house 4 or 5 streets up. That's where the spot was.
That's cool, man. Right there. That's some good tailgating right there. Because I mean they get that, they have that fame. You know what I mean? The Bills of the some of the best tailgaters in the NFL. So it's like that must have been an experience out there, man. Unfortunately we didn't get the dub, but you know what I mean. That's a good experience to go out there, and say you've been to Buffalo, got to see those. The Bills Mafia, it's just See, I seen you put somebody through a table, huh?
So, I'm mad, dude. I asked so many Bills fans. So I showed my kid. I took my son with me, and he's 6, and I showed him the YouTube videos. Like, oh, I want to do that. I'm like, all right, we'll get a table, we'll check it in, we'll fly out, that kind of stuff. And I couldn't find one damn Bills fan to let me do it. I was so disappointed. Because you hear like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. They're wild, they're this and that. And everyone's like, no, my back or this or that. I'm like, this is bullshit. I was like, I'm old as hell too. My back hurts. But
they knew it was gonna be on. They knew that shit was gonna be on display.
Yeah. So what happened was a guy that follows me I was at the Bills house. So this house is actually decorated like the Buffalo Bills, like it's painted, everything. A bunch of old guys just went in and bought it to tailgate in. So it was pretty cool. And they're like, yeah, we'll find somebody for you. If we can't find a Bills fan, we'll find somebody. So they found a Carolina fan, and they said, if you don't find somebody, he'll let you do it. Excuse me. So what a guy that follows me was like, hey, I follow you. I'm like, hey, you want to let me put you through a table? And that was it, man. He let me do it, so it's pretty cool.
Hey, shit, that's cool though, man. At least somebody, stepped up and took one for the team, Buggy. You know what I mean? But that show's cool, man. Just seeing that, being in Buffalo, I experiencing that, putting somebody through the table. That's just cool, man. No matter, I had the kind of almost the same experience last year, man. We went to Tennessee. Yeah, we took the L, whatever, out there. You know what I mean? But the experience was just it was different out there, man. Too in Tennessee, it's just like the whole downtown area is right there. You know what I mean? You just cross the bridge, you're in the stadium. You know what I mean? It's just it's everybody crosses the bridge to get to the stadium because everybody's pretty much kind of tailgating in the downtown shit because there's so many like bars and shit like that right there. It's just
Nashville's fun.
Yeah, Nashville's fun, man.
Nashville reminds me of Vegas, but with like country music and white.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me. It's just white women in cowboy boots and skirts. I went there and I'm like, oh shit, this is wild. And I remember my sister, the first thing, because I posted a video on my Instagram live. Within 2 minutes, she's like, keep your hands off those girls on Main Street, Josh. Because there was literally girls dancing in the windows of the clubs. They didn't work there. They were just dancing in the windows for fun. And I was like, this place is fucking wild.
Yes, sir, man. But got a shout out from Raider Band right here. Go. Yes, sir, man. Yeah, we got. How do you feel about this week, though, man? Like, turning the page now. Getting to the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers. They show that they have a pretty tough defense. You know what I mean? I just think that they do. They're not nothing, on the same level. I think offensively as the Bills. But what do you think about?
No, not even close.
Coming
so the kryptonite for the Steelers is their run defense. They gave up like 180 or 190 both games against Chubb. Yeah. And so they got one of the worst run defenses in the league. Their pass rush is, obviously because of Watt. Yeah. But their run defense is absolute garbage. So, and they're also giving up like 5-6 yards of rush. So if we're going to get started on a run game, this is the team to do it in. This is the team to run all over them. Because they face two top backs in McCaffrey and then in Chubb, and they couldn't stop either one. And Jacobs is as good as both of them running. So this is the game that I think he gets things going. Hopefully he does. Their offense is not dynamic. Kenny Pickett is not Josh Allen, and their number one Pickens is a baller. But the thing is, their quarterback's going to hold them back.
Yeah, it's like he's like a wish version of Allen.
He's not even nearly.
He's a little mobile, like him or stuff like that, and he tries to be, kind of a gunslinger, but he's just not on the same not even like 2-3 levels, below Josh Allen. So I just think he's gonna. I think this week is the week that we get some guys to maybe bait him into making a bad throw, and hopefully we could come up with that. Be opportunistic on the defense because that's what we've been missing, bro, from this defense for years. And I just think that could be like the equalizer in anything, because I know that I just don't think we're gonna be able to fix the defensive line woes basically in a week, especially. So I just think that being opportunistic is I think the equalizer for me, bro. But what we say?
I don't know what the hell's going on with our D line, man. I mean, it looks bad, and this is 100%. I blame fucking Chandler Jones on Wilson's progress because Wilson was a raw talent. He's a big, huge, fast, athletic guy that was going to need some coaching, and he was going to have to go behind Jones. He was going to get in on third downs. They were going to rotate him in. He's going to be a rotating guy. And now, here you go. Start day one. Have fun. Hey, thanks for the post, man. So I think he's just thrown to the wolves, and he didn't get the coaching that he needs because he's just athletic. I think he'll get up to speed because you got to remember he played for Texas Tech. They played against big schools, but the thing is, he's just a big kid, man, and he needs coaching. He's a raw talent, and I hope he doesn't turn into Farrell or something. I think he's leaps and bounds better than Farrell, but I think he needs coaching, and I think he was thrown in way too early.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying in the beginning of the season. Now he's gonna be, kind of be forced to be, kind of baptized by fire type shit, and it's you could kind of see it because I mean, it would be kind of I think I would kind of be more on him if like kind of more on his back, like kind of as in like criticizing if he had like a whole camp where he didn't come in so late. Yeah. But I just think that we were asking a little bit too much of him so soon, because it's like he was pushed in because of the Chandler Jones situation, and he was a top pick, you know what I mean, at 7. But you know, we just like, I understand, you know what I mean, it's a top pick. We shouldn't, you know, we like, you know, some people, you know, from the first place that we shouldn't have got him, whatever, you know what I mean? But he is here now. So it's like, I think now, like, the plan was totally derailed by like you said, man, the Chandler Jones situation where, you know what I mean? We kind of had him like in the fold where he was kind of talking big shit in the off season, where he was trying to make a point to prove too, you know, Chandler up until the week before, he was trying to say, you know, he had guys ahead of him that he wanted to catch in the sack record. He wanted a redemption type year. So, you know, everything was pointing towards, you know, a slow, pretty much, you know, you could kind of bring him along slow, Tyree, and just one day to another, he was like, nah, bro, you're gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to be the starter, basically, you know what I mean? And then what's his name, Kuntz? I've seen him out there a couple of times, and I thought he would be better by at this point too. It's just, I think he needs to kind of like,
he's undersized.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And he's not like that fast.
You can see it. Like he has good bend or whatever. Like he has good moves with his hands, but it's just his body and his speed just don't let him be that, you know, that player that we thought we were gonna get.
Yeah, and I talked to a lot of people about that. I'm like, we fall in love with these players because they started for us. Like, oh, they're gritty, they're grinders, that kind of stuff. But they're not that good. Like, everybody was like on Diablo. Diablo gained weight. Diablo's hella buff now. I'm like, being buff doesn't make you a good football player. You know, everybody's like, he gained weight. I'm like, he wouldn't start on 25 other teams, you know? And so, like, same thing with Kuntz. Kuntz wouldn't be a starter on 20, 25 other teams. So it's like, we got rotational players starting right now that really need good coaching, need to be put in good situations. And I don't think they're doing that right now. You know, it's just they're throwing them out there to the wolves and they're getting eaten alive. When we play teams that aren't good or players that aren't good, like Denver, like Russell Wilson is not what he used to be. And you know, I told people, I was like, if he was a better quarterback like Allen, we'd have been eaten alive. And we got lucky to get that W out of that game.
Yeah, because our game was ugly, man. That game was like just you know, possessions. They were at a premium, and we were just lucky to get out. Kind of like we kind of had like a quick start there too, but that game is just, I think that the second half kind of the defense, I don't know if they showed up or anything like that, or if it was, you know, the mishaps of Denver, but I just think as a whole the defense played way better in the second half that year. That game is just, we played 6 bad quarters, you know what I mean? Basically, you know, we played 2 quarters. I would even probably mark it down to like 1 good quarter, because I mean, even in that third quarter, you know, you had mistakes from like I think I don't know if that was the quarter where the Epps penalty too, or that was the second, and the penalty for Masterson. You know what I mean? It's just those things need to be cleaned up for sure, man. Because when you're not opportunistic on the defensive side, and you know you're just basically almost leading the league in penalties again, it's just I understand, you know, that we kind of get that rap, and you know, we're kind of under the microscope kind of every week with the refs, but it doesn't help when, you know, you're making blatant calls where you're making it easier for them. You know what I mean? You're making it easier for them to make the calls. So it's like those things have to be cleaned up for sure. But I think the biggest thing this week, man, is that that run game has to get started for sure, man. Because Pittsburgh has been gouged, you know, both games, and like this game, we can't just let them, you know, get like just have a fucking just a totally turnaround game from their first 2 weeks. You know what I mean? On their run, basically the run defense. So it's just, we have to take advantage of that now. We have to take it. I was kind of pointing towards the fact, you know, like Van Rotten, man, he looked bad, bro. I think he looked rotten.
I don't know why we started him, man. Everybody's like, oh, Van Rotten can play guard, he can play tackle. I'm like, it doesn't matter. He sucks at both. And you know, I would prefer to see Jermaine and then maybe Mumford, you know, starting, or or the guard, I can't remember his name, out of Fresno State that they got. He's decent enough. But it looks like they're playing musical chairs on that right side. Yeah, Newty. Yeah. And it's like we got all these players that are just playing musical chairs. It's like, no, put them in a position. Who beat who in camp? Who's better than who? All right, put him in, coach him up, let him play. And I don't know how many times, like we saw Munford, and then we saw Jermaine, and we saw Van Rotten, and they were switching, or they're running like one of them as tight end and things like that. Munford, it's like let him play, let him get used to the position, let him, get some cohesiveness on the line, because our line, we haven't given up a sack yet this year. Like, believe it or not, no sacks.
For real.
But
man.
I don't know what's going on with the run game, because we pretty much have the offensive line we had last year. And we're not getting any push on the line, any at all. Like we're getting eaten up.
First, I was talking about this the other day too, like about that. I understand, the offensive line, the run game, the run blocking hasn't been, great. I mean, somewhat even, some people are calling it, horrible and all that shit. But I just would like, return like, kind of revert to last year, bro, where, the offensive line wasn't, dominant. I mean, we were out there, where guys were kind of shooting into the gaps too, and had Jacobs dead to rights basically sometimes in the backfield, but Jacobs was just more, more light on his feet, more I would say, I just think his balance was there. I just think that the late camp start is showing in these first two games for sure for him, man. I just think he hasn't got that out of his system or something. But I just, even in the first game, like when we won, I with his struggles, I just was like, does he look like, like out of shape and stuff like that? Like it's expected, coming in from late, coming into camp so late, but it's just just the combination of both, the offensive line looking how it is, and then just Josh not running the way he was running last year. It's cause for what we're seeing on the field, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I kind of expected that to take a week or two for him to get in, but when he's getting in, getting that work in, I'm like, oh, hey, he's going to go 50, 60 yards, not -6.
Wow.
So it's just like, because he's supposed to be the best running back in the league. He's like, I'm the best. I want a long contract. I want this money. Pay me. And then he shits the bed. And like, to me, I'm upset. I'm like, he needs to change it, because if this doesn't continue, we're going to be in a contract dispute again at the end of the year. And I'm like, man, I hope he picks his game up so he has leverage, because I want him back. But at the same time,
your go-to thing on your offense basically is the run game. You know what I mean? Especially coming off of last year. So when that is not working, and then especially when it's like negative yards, you got a cold chance. I mean, like a cold chance in hell, man, to try to win that game. You know what I mean? It's just it's hard to win a game when that's supposed to be your bread and butter, and it's like not even non-existent. It's there were, even like it's negative. You know what I mean? So it's, oh man, it was just that was a bad like showing overall. I think for the offensive line needs to, because the offensive linemen, you know what I mean? Like I remember playing, dog, and just like listening to offensive linemen, like, in their interviews and stuff like that. They're like some of the most prideful guys. You know what I mean? When guys get hit, they have that pride to like go over there and stick up for the guy and stuff. Those guys. So I think this week they have to feel it, man. They have to feel that pressure and have some pride in that run blocking this week, man, because you got a guy who was all pro last year, man. So you gotta just, that's, and then a team, across from you that's, just struggled in the first two games in that category, even after losing, in this last game, Chubb got hurt, basically in the second quarter, and still Ford had a great game, against them. So I just think that it has to that has to like turn around. I wouldn't say, let's get him back to like last year's, almost mid-season form, but he has to be more effective for sure this week, man. That has to be more effective to help out Jimmy.
I'm not too worried because of how he is and how good he is and how good we've seen him be over the past 4 or 5 years. But even last year, I mean, you remember last year when we were losing games, we weren't running the ball. So everybody kind of knows, like, hey, that's their MO now. They want to run the game.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't think he had his first 100-yard game until like week 3 or week 4. I think it was week 4 last year.
Yeah, it was week 4 because I was I went to the first 3 games. Yeah, they were losing them. I was pissed, man.
Yeah, and it was against the Broncos too. So it's like he usually tears that. I think he averages like 130 yards against the Broncos in his career, like some obscene number.
It was Tennessee. I remember I went to Tennessee, and then the third game was the Chargers. And then the first game, what did they start off last?
No, the first game was the Chargers, and then the second game was the Cardinals. Because I remember Kyler Murray running around like a fucking toddler, and then they lost in Tennessee. Yeah. Denver was the first game that he ran for 100 yards, and it's like, oh no, man. I'm like, okay, so he's gonna have a coming out party week 3 or week 4, and we're like, okay, we're back. Once we run the game, that's the other thing. Like our offense hasn't been able to close drives because we don't have a run game. We're staying on the field. We're moving the ball. We don't have any 3 and outs. We're getting yards, but we're not scoring points.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's 100% related to the run game because they're like, okay, make Jimmy G beat us. And he's not that guy to beat you. You know, he's that guy that's methodical and slow in a West Coast offense.
Ooh. Yeah. That's what I've been saying though. Like in order for Jimmy G to be effective, he needs to have a running game because, and I would say, like the thing with what I've been, kind of seeing that, like, I just don't know how the coaches haven't been seeing it. Though is like, guys are focused in on Josh Jacobs. They know, like you were saying right now, like teams are kind of honing in on that. You know what I mean? They're kind of like coming into the game with that game plan that if you see Josh Jacobs back there, we're gonna put 8 in the box and we're gonna stop the run. So. For me, it's like the thing with Josh McDaniels, bro. It's like I understand he's a great mind and all this shit, whatever. Like as an offensive coordinator, but to not be able to see like that, you need to just be able more to like disguise things more. Like kind of like what I've been talking about is like maybe like how last week with the one time that we ran the jet sweep. You know what I mean? Trey Tucker was able to kind of explode for down the sideline for it just. Yeah. And I'm not saying, run that play more often or whatever. I'm just saying like kind of run that motion to keep the like the guys, the outside linebacker and the corners on this side, kind of on their heels because, with the guy with that speed, they're not going to want to, let that guy get behind them. So just kind of like being able to like disguise things more. I just think that, running a bit of motion, a bit more of motion or just like disguising, like, cause right now it's just like they're trying to line up guys out there and like they're saying we're gonna line up out here. You're gonna put your 8, 9 in the box, and we're gonna see who's gonna win. And right now it's just not working.
Yeah, we're losing.
Defense, kind of like focused on that shit. So I just think that needs to be more disguised, bro.
You know what this reminds me of? You remember when we had Gruden's offense that looked like hella mediocre, like hella vanilla. That's what it looks like right now. This offense reminds me of when Gruden was running his offense. He's like, hey, we're going to hit you in the mouth. We're going to get 3 yards and we're going to be happy with it. I'm like, that's not the NFL anymore. Like, that's not offenses that don't win you games. And it looks like, it looks like we're doing that. And it looks like, honestly, I mean, how many times do we throw the ball deep? Only a few. I mean, Jimmy G can't throw that deep that well. He has one of the lower completion percentages, but he can still do it. And we got one of the best receivers in the league. And we're not throwing the ball deep. And so, people are just stacking the box and be like, fuck you. You're not going to beat us. They're not going to, you got to throw over us and this guy can't do it. It's like, come on, we got Devontae, we got Jakobi, we got Hunter. It's like, you tell me we can't go deep? Hey, come on.
And I'm not saying go away from the run game. I'm saying like, just go like even like rotate Jacob so much right now. Like right now, teams are just focused on him. So, if you could like just rotate them out, even in the first couple of drives, just to keep teams like, oh, what the hell are they doing? You know what I mean? Just to like get the other guys, some guys, and then that keeps Jacobs more fresh for like later on in games. Also, dog, is just I think it's just, but that's the things that I think need to change a little bit on the offensive side because then you'll if you see Abdullah out there, most likely teams are going to think, okay, they might be running a screenplay or something out of the backfield, something like that when you can still run the ball and keep them guessing. You know what I mean? I just think that part, and then it's the same type of thing on the defensive side too, man. Like with Patrick Graham, bro, it's like he's oh my god, it's just so like vanilla out there, bro. With the defense,
Oh man, they need to fire that fucking guy, man. He's so bad, so bad.
He says he likes to be in the booth drinking a Coke. Man, bro, you need to be on the sideline holding your players accountable and yourself accountable, man. Like what the that's this it's bad, you know. That defensive just coaching, I'm not changing guys, just saying that, and then the excuses that he gives this week, like saying like, oh, it's a complex defense that it takes a couple of games for guys to get it and shit like that. Well, so who are the guys that you're talking about? Like, I understand, okay, the rookies. Okay, the rookies, maybe they need some time to get it. But most of these guys on this team right now are guys that you had in this system last year. And then the new guys that you have are like Spillane and Epps are already look like they've gotten it, like most of it, because they're actually playing, you know, some of the better players on the defensive side right now. So it's like, who are you talking about? The guys that have already been on this team that should already have gotten it?
Yeah.
So it's like, I just think that's what preseason is for. That's what the training camp is for. Like that type of excuse is just like kind of like building in an excuse for himself to like buy him time. I don't know if that's what it is.
If RD keeps sucking, I could see a midseason fire. They already fired the Bears defensive coordinator stepped down yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, bro. It's like, especially this week. Like if we can't take advantage of like, you know, like you know, their offense is not good, bro. Like their offense is just not up to par with some of the better offenses of the league. So if your defense looks anything like they did last week against this team, he shouldn't make it to Monday. But I mean,
I could see them doing that. I think the first game, like we gave up 16, 17 points. We're like, hey, this is cool. People are like, oh, our D looked good. I'm like, the fuck, it didn't. I was there in the front row. It did not look good.
Yeah, they had a good fourth quarter, I would say, but that's about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
And the thing is, like I said, a higher quality quarterback than Russell carved us up. Russell, had maybe like 4 or 5 incompletions, something along those lines, threw for over 80%. Allen threw for 83%. Like, that's completing 4 out of 5 passes is not good. Like, and they weren't really going deep. It was like 10 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, 12 yards, 20 yards. But it was just back to back to back to back, going down the field. And I mean, you look at the time of possession of both games. Like, we lost the time of possession battle in Denver, and even worse in the Buffalo. And so it was just like our D couldn't get off the field. And, you know, last year, like, our D wasn't that good, granted, last year, but they were on the field so much. And I'm like, man, we got depth now. We drafted some depth. We signed depth. Like, we got rotation players now. And that all went to shit. Yeah. Like, so fast. Like, okay, now our D, and you see it in the second quarter, the third quarter, they fall apart because they're so fucking tired because they've been on the field for 30 plus minutes already. You know, it's getting crazy.
Yeah, that's just the defense needs to, like, I don't know if it's, you know, maybe trying out some guys too. Like, you know, I mean, what do you got? What do you got, guys? Yeah. Grab them real quick. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I just think I don't know if it's you need to like start trying out new guys or something like that, but like maybe Nesta, like having guys inactive is just what do you have them inactive for? Like they can't do worse than the guys that are, you know, on the field right now.
Yeah, I think it's been getting bad. You know, they're rotating people in, but the thing is, I think the Jones thing really fucked people up because he was going to be our starting defensive end, and he just isn't now. Like, he's just gone. I don't know what the fuck's happened to him. Like, he's off his rocker, and now I think that has kind of eaten into our defense a little bit. And I don't blame Chandler for this situation. I blame Jacobs' lack of production, because if Jacobs runs the ball well, even average, we're on the field longer, we're stopping their drives, we're getting better possession, better time of possession, better field positions. So I blame our week 1 and 2 woes on what Jacobs has not been able to do, because having 40 yards in 2 games for a $10 million back, that's not having shit.
That's just, it's bad, bro. Like, especially when you're coming off of an all-pro year, you know, like, it just makes you look like, so were you just playing from the money? Like, I understand, like what they're trying to put their families first and all this shit, but like, you're also a football player, dog. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, you should take pride in, every time you go step out on that field. And I understand, like, I'm pretty sure he does and stuff like that. It's just that that stuff has to be not just when you're out there on the field, like that has to be in your mind at all times. Like, okay, like I understand that you wanted your money, but like you ended up most likely getting like what, $1 million extra or whatever, you know what I mean? That's $1 million, but it's, how much money that you might lose yourself if you keep, on with this type of performances. You know what I mean? How much money are you ending up like losing in the long run? Because ain't no team, like if you come off of a year where, say this year is like the rest of like this, it's just gonna be, the Raiders are they're gonna be like, what the hell? They're like, and then next year you don't get franchised and get, because you have to have like, I think, an all-pro year to be considered to get paid as like a top 5 running back, right? For the franchise.
Yeah. His franchise tag is pretty low.
So that's what I'm saying. His number will go lower and everything like that. So yeah, I understand that you wasted all this time, or like you held out to try to get this extra money or whatever. But how much did it end up costing you in the long run if you keep up with what you're doing? You know what I mean? So I just think that hurt him more maybe than it ended up. As of right now, it's hurting him more than it's doing good for him. So it's like, because he could have been in camp, he could have been already ready. You know what I mean? It's just like not taking a 3-4 games to like have basically a preseason. You know what I mean? This is basically his preseason like games and shit. So it's just.
But look at the running backs. Remember that whole running back situation that they were talking about? Like Dalvin Cook got a shitty contract when he was a top 5 runner. Zeke got cut. Jacobs didn't have a contract. Barkley didn't have a contract. Eckler didn't have a contract. And guess what? Jacobs is playing like shit. Barkley's out. Eckler's been hurt. And Dalvin Cook is now probably not even a starting running back. He's a switchback or a number 2 back now. Like, so they're showing like, hey, we as owners, we were right. You're not worth $15 million a year. And it's going to really hurt these fucking guys' egos, because they're going to come in like, I want 10, 12, 13 million. They're like, no. And they're going to let them walk.
You know what doesn't help either? The fucking injury to fucking Chubb, because he's making that 14 million a year.
Yeah,
you know what
Chubb's
I mean?
I completely forgot about Chubb.
You know what I mean? So, and then stuff like that happens, and then like it's unfortunate, dog. And I'm not trying to like even say anything bad about Chubb, because that shit was a fucking horrible. But this is something that the owners are gonna point at. You know what I mean? When it comes to a negotiation time, like, I mean, this is the risk that you guys put yourself through, like in every play. You know what I mean? You're a high risk player. You know what I mean? It's like, and then there's high value in late in drafts with guys. You know what I mean? Because look at the guy that came in for Chubb. You know what I mean? He didn't miss a beat once he came in. I understand that he's probably not going to be him long run. You know what I mean? But he came in and balled out. You know what I mean? So it's just that position right there is just, it's nothing that's happened this year is helping him out for sure.
No.
You know what I mean?
And the thing, like, we see all these fucking no-namers come in, and even like for like Atlanta, Aguilar like went off in the reception game. It's like all these guys are just going off, and we got literally the best running back in the league not doing shit. And to me, it's like, I was trying to give McDaniels a chance. I'm like, all right, give him some time, give him a chance. But it's at this point, it's like, okay, we got players. What the fuck is going on? I think it's coaching now. Like, I was trying to give McDaniels the benefit of the doubt. Like, hey, he has rings. He knows how to call plays. He's had top offenses in the past. Granted, he had Brady and Belichick, but he had top 10 offenses multiple occasions. And now it's like, last year our offense looked good, but it was sporadic. People forget we still had a top 10 offense last year, But I think now it's like, okay, like something's up with the way he's coaching. Like, it doesn't look like he's confident. And like, I posted it on my Instagram the other day. Like, he's like, it is what it is. I'm like, I don't want my fucking head coach that's getting paid millions of dollars to say, oh, it is what it is. I'm like, no, dude. Like, that's all bad.
It's not a good look, man. When it is you saying that stuff, like, nah, bro, like, you can't be that's not what the fans want to hear. That's definitely not what the fans want to hear. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure guys in the locker room don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure that they know that, like, it's just, they've been on other teams. There's guys on here that have been on other teams that they know that, like guys that like Spillane and stuff like that. They know that they've came from areas where there was good coaching. You know what I mean? So they know what good coaching looks like. So I just think that that shit's gonna fucking die out pretty soon, dog. Like, cause McDaniels, I mean, like you say too, man. I was, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because now he has his guy. He has nothing kind of basically excuses. And I was saying at the beginning of the year too, like I'll be the first one to jump on him if we do see this from this team this year, like last year, because we shouldn't be seeing the same type of quarterback play or this type of play, because this is supposed to be your guy. He is a proven winner, like we know, like his record says. But when you're putting him in situations like that, or just like it's just the play calling is just so basic and just predictable. I just think that he needs to get on something, like he needs to be fucking master Jedi this week or something, dog, with those play calls, because it needs to change, bro. Because it's like you said, bro. It's getting too basic, vanilla, like vanilla playbook, bro. It's just way too. Other teams just know what we're doing. They practice for it all week, and then we don't come out with a different look. Like we don't come out and surprise them or anything. We come out and we try to prove them, like, okay, you prepared for it all week, but you still ain't gonna be able to stop it, and you don't got the personnel for that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we don't have the personnel to line up and just smash against the best defenses in the league. We don't. And the thing is, Denver's D line is good. The Bills is a little bit better. And we don't have the personnel to line up and say, "Hey, we have the best line. We're going to run it down your throats." We're like, I'll use an example, like when Dallas had Zeke. Like they knew, like we got 3 All-Pros on one side. There's not a damn thing you can do. Colton's great, and Parham is coming up. But the thing is, our right side of the line is suspect in the run game. It was decent enough in the pass game last year, and I think it'll be a little bit better this year with the pass game. But as far as running, like we're going to need more finesse and spread stuff out, and I think our left side is the strong side we need to, run against.
Towards Colton.
Yeah, Colton Parham. That's the thing. Parham to me is a run blocker. He's not a pass blocker.
Yeah, I was even like trying to think, like, what do they need to do? Like, okay, Van Ryan looked that bad. Like, what would be like the solution? Instead, like, if you don't have to go off go off with the guys that you have that are playing right now. Like, I think Illuminor is versatile enough that he can move inside, and you already got, Mumford, who's basically coming in on, every jumbo package, because he's reporting himself eligible for every time that they're running the ball that way. So it's like, I don't know if that's what they need to do, because I've seen Illuminor play, decent at guard. So I'm pretty sure he can't do worse than Rotten. So I think
no.
That having maybe even that type of move, you know what I mean? That's just, they got to do something. Or Moody, like you said earlier, Moody is like I can guarantee that he ain't gonna be pushed around like that, bro. Like he's not gonna be pushed around. He might like whiff on some plays just because of his nastiness, and he's trying to like be too aggressive, where the defensive lineman might play that against him. But I do not see him being pushed, back like that, like Van Ryan was.
Yeah,
because he's just a different type of dude. Like he's a nasty, like a strong guy. You know what I mean? So I can see him being, a totally different type of O lineman, where I think he'll benefit the run game to where maybe he'll struggle in the pass game, because that's where he's kind of like known to struggle. But I think for what we need right now, I think we need Moody right now.
Yeah, I would prefer that they start Moody and Jermaine, but I'm not the coach, so what the fuck do I know what I'm talking about? But the thing is, Van Ron, I don't know how the hell he got to start in the first place. Like he didn't look good in preseason. He's never been that good. It's like, I don't know if he's like one of McDaniels. Did he play for McDaniels before or something? But it's like Van Ron. Yeah.
The Bears.
Was he with the Bears?
I think that's a Champ Cali guy, maybe. Because because Champ came from the Bears. So I think that's maybe a guy that he probably brought in. So I got somebody backstage right here. We got Ralph in the building. What's up, Ralph?
Yo, Raider Gabe, and of course, hey, nice to meet you, Mr. Goat.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm very good. So I have a question for the panel. So right now I had to focus on between Raiders versus Steelers. So the linebacker room is fully stacked between Devon Diablo and Robert Spillane. And I know that Robert Spillane has been doing like his all-team Pittsburgh Steelers. So right now, can Robert Spillane can do like a great performance during this last performance? I mean, he was really improved at his linebacker room, and I know he got the speed, the ability, and they got so much aggressivity. So if they can block right now, so that would be interesting to see Robert Spillane doing like something out of the field. I mean, if he can put her the block trade and everything, so he can play aggressively. I mean, we have an opportunity. So I know for a fact that we didn't win against Pittsburgh Steelers last year. That was on Christmas. But with Robert Spillane, I mean, things are going to change it about it. So how could you do that about the linebacker room between Robert Spillane and Luke Masterson and Devon Diablo to attack the defense of the Steelers, which is we had to focus on about the Pittsburgh Steelers' weakness.
Yeah, to attack the offense. But I think that Spillane has to be a big part of the defensive game planning this week, man. He was a play caller on that defense. He was a guy that, like kind of was like the leader of the defense, towards the end of the year when they started kind of playing better, in Pittsburgh last year. So I think having him, this week, you know what I mean? Especially, because that's basically the same offense over there. So having him, be a big part of the game plan this week is what I think is going to keep, Graham, not on the. I mean, he still has to be on the hot seat going forward, but I just think it'll kind of like it'll take a little bit off him because I think Spillane's going to play a big part in this game, bro. Just it's he's a guy that I think he's smart, bro. His IQ's up there. He was because at the beginning of the year, I think in training camp they were talking about, remember that I think they were saying before, right when we got Spillane, they were still saying that Diablo was going to be like the play caller. He was going to be the guy that was going to take the leap to wear the green dot and all that stuff. I just think Spillane came in here and just showed his work ethic, showed like his IQ, you know what I mean, out there on the game. He's a smart player. He needs to rap more, of course. Yeah, that's one thing he does need to do. He needs to learn how to rap better. But as far as like just his ability, I think this week he's going to be a big help for our defense this week, bro. He'll be all over the field, and I think he's going to just be able to call out shit out there. Be a coach on the field. So I think he's going to be a big plus for us this week. What do we think?
So for me, I'm probably not on the Spillane train like most people. A lot of people were happy with it. To me, he's a fringe starter. He's somebody that we plugged in because we lost Perryman. The thing with Spillane. So same thing with Diablo and Spillane. They're fast, undersized linebackers. Spillane's like 6 foot, like 225. He's a little dude. He's the size of a safety, but he's fast. And so if he can keep free of blockers and run side to side, he's going to be really good because of his speed and athleticism. But the thing is, if you're running right up his gut, bam, 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 and our D line is getting thrown around again, like he's going to have some issues, and he's a good cover linebacker. That's what he's there for. If you guys don't remember last year, like we were the worst team on running back passes. We got burnt. Remember, Eckler just killed us on those types of plays. And they kind of realized like, oh, that's the MO. Like you can do this in the Raiders. They're not good at covering, and you saw Debo start to play a little bit more last year. And then we got Spillane, who's a little faster guy because Perryman's more of a run stopper. So I think he needs a little bit more coaching. I think he needs more support. So I don't think he can be that guy, but he can be like number one, a support linebacker if we get a really good linebacker. Yeah. Alvin Kamara killed us last year too.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I think it's more or less, we need some help on our D line, and I think it'll free up our two linebackers because they're more speed guys than they're finesse versus power.
I think the way that they've been playing is actually, to me, I would say like exceptional just because of that fact. Like they should be the linebackers should be like getting eaten up right now just because the defensive line looks so bad, bro. Like the defensive line is supposed to help out the linebackers with with kind of like clean, like letting the linebackers just clean shit up. You know what I mean? And right now I just see the linebackers. It's almost opposite. You know what I mean? Where the linebackers are kind of making the plays in the backfield a little bit, to where the defensive linemen are kind of cleaning up for the linebackers, when it should be totally different. You know what I mean? It should be a totally 180. You know what I mean? On that, in that aspect, I just think that when we can get some good, defensive line play, I think you'll be able to see like these linebackers actually even play a little bit better, because I've seen Spillane. The thing about Spillane, he is undersized too. I wouldn't say that though, but I just like that he has no regard for his fucking body. Yeah. I mean, he'll go out there and I've seen that dude lay out fucking Derrick Henry before. You know what I mean? That shit was crazy. You know what I mean? If you shit's all over YouTube too, like that shit just.
Oh yeah, when he nailed him. And that's the thing, but I actually had people bring that specific instance up because, like, man, this guy's a monster. I'm like, he's a monster in the right situation when he has better players around him. For him to be that guy, it's going to be a little bit harder. But when he has good players around him, he shines because of his athleticism. I mean, you see a 6-foot white guy, you're like, oh, whatever. No, but that dude's like, for a linebacker, he is fast. He's fast. And so I think we need better D-line play to free him up, because if you get a guard or a tackle or even, fullback or tight end on him, like anybody from the front line, they're going to be bigger and stronger than him. Yeah.
They're way too strong, bro. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I did hear, some people saying, and it's the damn truth. That is the damn truth. I would say about Tyree right now. Tyree Wilson, the thing I would say about him is that he expects his bull rush, because he relies on his strength a lot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he expects his bull rush to be enough. And in the NFL, everybody's as strong as you, bro. Everybody's almost on that level, just as strong as you, especially these offensive linemen. These offensive linemen fucking eat weights. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers eat shit. So it's like,
they're scary.
So it's like those are the type of guys that you need to be able to learn your just like what you have, bro, like the attributes that you have, like this is the God-given talent that what he gave you, bro, like your arm length, you know what I mean? Like just not letting just the offensive lineman even get the opportunity to brace himself to use his power, bro. Like you should be able to not let an offensive lineman get his hands on you with that wingspan. You know what I mean? It's just he needs to I think that needs to be taught to him. But I think he's gonna end up getting it, bro, because he's too strong, and like I would say he's a little slower than I expected, but
that's the number one thing I noticed. Because when we drafted him, I'm like, man, they might move him to like outside backer or something and have him be like a rush linebacker, cover the flats. And I'm seeing him running around. I'm like, this guy looked so much faster and more athletic in college. And I don't know if it's just a speed thing, but like he it's not like, oh, he looks bad or he's playing like crap. It's like he just looks slow. Like he's not used to the snap counts. Like you were seeing Crosby was off, 2-3 tenths of a second off the ball before him, and was already across the ball into the lineman, and Wilson was just lifting his hand. You're like, that's nuts.
I want to do a split screen of like get both of their videos of that on the same play, and just focusing on them too, and just to see how like the difference, dog. And it's just Max is 3 yards in front by the time he's barely getting into a stance. You know what I mean? And it's just that's what it's like. That's I think the biggest problem. That and just being able to learn his hands. And we got somebody else. Oh, we got Raider Band back up. What's crazy? What's cracking, Raider Band?
What's good, Gabe? What's good, Josh?
How you doing, man?
Chilling about to fire up some of this motherfucking tree.
Chilling out, smoking out on the smokeout hour. Talking Raiders, Steelers, bro. Just what kind of the things we kind of need to see this week, bro. Just I think for sure, like we were talking earlier, run game, better D line play, you know what I mean, and just I think the boneheaded shoot yourself in the fucking. I think if you get a turnover this week, please don't nullify it with a penalty. That's all I'm asking. You know what I mean? Because 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, we don't even have any turnovers yet, do we?
No, we're -3 in the plus minus, bro, and that's why another reason why we're losing games.
Yeah, that's horrible, bro. Like That's just.
I was preaching that, bro, in the offseason, dog. If the Raiders turn the ball over and we don't fucking create turnovers, bro, which we haven't done since 2016, bro, we're not going to win a lot of football games, period, dude. You cannot be on the negative end of the spectrum at the end of the year and expect to be a competitive football team. It just don't happen, bro.
That's the biggest equalizer, dog, in football. Biggest equalizer.
You don't have to have a great defense, bro, but you got to take the football away, dude. You got to. You got guys. You got to have guys that want to take the football away. You want to know why the Eagles and the Niners are so fucking good, dude? Because they have guys that go out there and they want to take the football away. You know what I'm saying? They swarm the football. The Raiders have too many fucking guys on defense that aren't even around the football, dude. Like you're not even close to the football, dude. Like I've said this before. If we had 11 Max Crosby's, bro, we'd have a great defense. You want to know why? Because Max Crosby's all the way around, always around the football. And when you're around the football, good things happen. And unfortunately, outside of Nate Hobbs, we don't have nobody else with that same fucking mindset, bro. So, period. And Nate Hobbs is not like a pick artist, bro. He's a tackler and a good cover guy. That's it, dude. We need guys that are going to take the fucking football over. I thought bringing in Marcus Peters, you know, with the dog that he has in him, you know, the most interceptions since being in the league, all the yards, blah, blah, blah. I thought he would try to coach. I don't know, bro. Like I said, at the same time, though, I'm sick of Patrick Graham, bro. That motherfucker ain't nothing but a Paul Gunther, dude. That's all that motherfucker is, dog. A Ken Norton, a Paul Gunther. Like, must we go on? Dennis Allen. He's fucking trash, bro.
My plan is if we lose this weekend, dog, fucking fire him. This would be my dream scenario. Fire him. Not dream because there's better guys out there, but like I just think we're like taking the rest over of this season. Just go out and get Rex and let Rob and Rex do their thing on the defense.
I would like that. I think they'd probably just stick with Rob though before they went and tried to snatch up Rex. But I would like that.
I think Rob would give the word to go try to get his brother. I think his brother interviewed for the Rex was because I think Rob wants to stay kind of out of like the coaching thing. He wants to be more of an advisor because of I think his health problems. So I think, and then Rex interviewed for the Denver job this year, and he was talking shit the other day, saying that if he was the coach of the Denver at that Denver defense, that would be the number one defense in the league, and all this shit. So I think that would be a guy that I think they would be able to go get just so he could stick it to Denver because same division and shit like that. So I think that's one guy that they would be able to make a call to. You know what I mean?
I would like the Raiders to go call Wade Phillips, dog.
He's a guy that he's cooked up some good defenses in his years for sure.
He was the defensive coordinator that won the Broncos the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Wade, for sure.
Yep.
And that was a
and
top
he said he would like to coach the Raiders, bro, because I remember there was that whole controversy like, oh, well, the Raiders run 4-3, and he was like, well, I have a history of turning 4-3 defenses into 3-4 defenses. So
I don't know how much I trust this regime having Graham on the hot seat though.
No. I see 100% Graham. If he's giving up 20, 25 points a game for like the next, like I wouldn't even say he's going to make it to midseason. If our team's giving up 20, 25 points a game and we're losing because of our D, like he's gone. Yeah, I don't think they'll make a splash midseason. Like they'll bring on somebody as an advisor and promote one of the assistants. That's what's most likely. But I can see Graham losing his job because our D just looks bad. It looks bad. It looks worse than last year to me.
Yeah. Well, I look at it like this, right? We've all heard rumblings that Graham could be on the hot seat, this, that, and the third, right? I think what it's going to come down to is, do the players believe in Graham or not, bro? Like, do they believe in his system? Do they believe in what he's preaching? Because if they come out knowing that this dude's job is probably on the line and that defense don't come out and try to compete, that's going to tell you all you need to know, bro. They don't fuck with Patrick Graham. They're not sold on him. And this team, in my opinion, how we drafted this year, dude, we're more suited to run a lot more 3-4 than this 4-2-5 shit every single play, dude. We need to see some 3-4. We need to see Tyree Wilson standing up as an outside linebacker in a pass rush. Like, Tyree Wilson, dude, in my opinion, ain't no 4-3 defensive end, dude. I'm not going to get into that, bro. I'll start ranting. Tyree Wilson sucks, dude. If we don't start
Oh, yeah.
getting play
You
out
know
of
they're
Tyree Wilson or somebody,
With
bro,
his
it's all bad.
dog, they need to put him in the inside right now, bro. Like they need to try to put him in the inside or something, bro, because he's
But
just
fuck
too
that,
slow.
Raider Gabe. Why the fuck did we even draft him if we're gonna put him inside, bro? Like we
Oh,
should have just drafted Jalen Carter.
Yeah, of course that, but we're stuck with him now. You know what I mean? He's the pick now, so it's like you got to figure out something.
Yeah,
to
you got to find a spot for him, see where he goes.
I mean,
You know what I mean? Something
He
for
ain't
him
got
right
no
now.
get off though, bro. He's got no get off, dude. And I've seen him give up on plays already, bro. Like, it's a wrap, bro. I'm trying to give him some time, dog, but it looks like Cleveland Farrell all over again.
It's a second game though. You can't judge a player by.
That's what I'm saying. I was gonna say, like, it's his first game at home. Let's see how he performs at home. See if he's finally back at, I'm pretty sure his new house or whatever, in Vegas. So I mean, I know that shouldn't be an excuse or whatever these motherfuckers are in the NFL, but we'll see. I just want to see that, like, the first couple of games, like the first 4 games, and it's just like right now the first 2 games, damn, they're bad. But I don't want to, like, just not yet. And just I want to see what he does at home this weekend, dog. Sunday Night Football. He's on primetime. Show up.
I mean, that's a bigger task. I mean, that's a bigger task for Tyree Wilson for the opener. I mean, people are very tired to keep waiting. I mean, yeah, I know this kind of like a real slow start for Tyree Wilson as a defensive edge, but yeah, Tyree Wilson. But what about Jermaine?
2 games.
Yeah, but what about Jermaine Eluemunor? I mean, he was pretty solid at the right tackle during the first games of the season. I mean, against Buffalo Bills and Denver Broncos. I mean, all the edge right now for Jermaine Eluemunor, it will take anything. I mean, what about Jermaine Eluemunor, because they got to keep up to attack DJ Watt for wrecking the Reds' offensive game plan. I mean, if we don't have like a game plan against Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, we're screwed. But the only hope is going to be like a Tyree Wilson, I guess, and Jermaine Eluemunor to get a goal onto defense to repair everything.
Well, shit, Jermaine Eluemunor is actually playing pretty fucking good right now. Him and Colton Miller.
Yeah. It's
and
just
we're the only team in the NFL that hasn't given up a
Van Ryan, he's playing Ryan, dog. He's making that whole offensive line Ryan. He's that Ryan.
I feel bad, dude, because I was pumping up Van Rolton, bro. And he sucks, dude. He's fucking
I don't know why he's starting. He didn't look that good. Yeah. He didn't look good in the preseason. I don't know why he's starting. That's why I was like, I didn't even hear this guy. I'm like, did he play for one of the coaches prior? Because that's the only way I see him getting the start is being like, oh, that's my guy.
That's what I think. I'm thinking it's Chad Kelly's guy because he's from Chicago. I think was from Chicago or something like that before. But
no, Greg Van Roten was from the Bills.
Oh yeah, he came from the Bills. So who the fuck you don't have ties to nobody on? They just
not only he came for the Bills, also for the Giants. That's why they go for the Giants.
Yeah, but I don't know if he was there with Patrick Graham though. And that's a completely different side of the football. So
yeah, but I don't know. He shouldn't be starting. So if he keeps shit in the bed, that's the thing. You know, when a couple years ago when oh God, what the hell's that guy's name? The one that we drafted sucked.
Cheers, man. I got the Voodoo Rangers IPAs, man. Cheers to the chat.
But yeah, Leatherwood. It just went out of me. I can see them benching somebody and trying to put somebody in because they want to find somebody that's going to play that position and play it well. And our right side of the line is obviously our suspect side. I saw it in the comments too, and I 100% agree. They're going to run Watt on the left side most of the game. Just watch. They're not gonna put Watt against Miller. Why? They're gonna let Miller eat somebody else up, and then we'll see actually how strong that right side is versus the pass and versus the run, because Watt is a killer pass rusher.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, dude, Eluemunor played pretty well against T.J. Watt last season.
Yeah,
because he played him last year on the same exact side. You know what I mean? We played against him and Alex Highsmith last year.
But this is what I worry about. We're playing on a dome stadium on some nice indoor growing grass. Like the players play faster in Vegas. It's not like as fast as turf, but they run faster, they cut faster, they don't have to deal with any elements. I worry about Watt's speed on that. That's the one thing I'm worried about. Is on that side, because if he starts causing a havoc, like it's going to be a long day.
Oh yeah, because Eluemunor, I like the way Eluemunor is played. My gripe of him has just been the discipline. he got one penalty in the first game, but other than that, in this, these first 2 games, Illuminor's been solid. I wouldn't. I just think that he's make the thing that's making his side look bad is that he has a rotten seed next to him, man. That's it. He's just that's what it is. That's it. They need to go get Moody or just go in with. I'm pretty sure Illuminor wouldn't be against the dog. Move him into the inside and let Mumford try it out. Like shit, you got to do something to shore it up.
We have 2 options,
that's what
so
I was
they're
getting ready
not
to
going
say.
to tolerate. Yeah, they're not going to tolerate a offensive lineman playing like shit because we got 2 options. We can put Mumford in, or we can put Nudie in. They can do either one.
That's something, bro. Or go out and sign Bars. He's still on the damn street.
Alec Bars is worse than Rotten, bro.
I liked Bars too, dog. I liked Bars last year, dude. I thought he played really well for us. He was suspect.
He's better at the run blocking. He was better, but I mean the pass blocking has been good this year because they haven't allowed a sack. But that run game is just like it's one guy can mess up a run game because especially when you look that bad in the run game because you're getting knocked 3 yards behind. You know what I mean? The first play of the game, case in point, you seen Ed Oliver just blow him up, bro. Like he was.
That wasn't even Ed Oliver, dog. That was some other fucking scrub that blew him up.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it wasn't Ed Oliver. It was somebody. That's why when they said it wasn't Ed Oliver, I was like, oh, because I could have expected it, but it was some other scrub. It was like the second D tackle.
Yeah, but that shit was ugly.
No, that game was bad. Yeah, I mean, you guys saw it on TV. Like they had penetration every play. Jacobs couldn't get even to the line before the defense was behind the line of scrimmage. Like it was just insane how bad and how slow they were. Yeah, it was at the point where they're like, all right, we're gonna stop running, and they had to because they couldn't do anything. It's like
my grill up.
All the way from Australia.
Yeah, barbecuing, baby.
Is there?
Hello.
Different time zone over here. We got somebody all the way from Friday over here. He's already in the building. Friday.
Yeah, I still haven't started swimming yet, but I'll get around to it. I promise. And if I'm lucky enough, I might make it in 20 days, 10 days. I don't know.
No, it's LA is next weekend, man. I'm be at that game too.
Yeah. I hate Chargers.
Better get it cracking, right?
Yep, I'll be in LA. This will be my first time ever even going to LA.
LA fans, because I live out here, and like to see Charger fans in LA, dog, it's just not. It doesn't look right. One, and then they're just.
You saw Charger fans in LA?
Bitches, dog. Like there's a couple nowadays, like you know what I mean, because they want to.
There's like 4.
Yeah,
all 3 of them.
Yeah. They're like 10. They're like 10 years old. You know what I mean? They don't know any better.
No,
just, with the team.
The only Charger fans they had were all of Phillip Rivers' kids. Dog, that was it.
And fucking the robots, the movie promos and shit.
Oh, dude,
yeah,
I looked up that movie because of that game, and I'm like, this looks creepy as fuck. Like I would, if I was like drunk or high, and I looked over and there's this person dressed as a robot next to me, I'm fucking leaving.
For real, bro. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. I mean, the movie looks good. If you haven't watched the trailer, it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, that's from a movie I didn't even know.
Yeah,
that's Washington's son.
Yeah. Super good actor.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, man. It seems like we're going the route of Terminator, right? You know, with all this AI shit that's been, coming in.
All these movies always have some truth to it too.
Right. I mean, I was at a restaurant last night in one of those Chinese restaurants where they got those robots that come out on the wheels with the faces and make sounds like to deliver the food and that. It's crazy.
Yeah, fuck all that.
You're already taking jobs, huh?
Right.
See right there, they better not ask for no tip. Fuck that shit. You already took.
Bro, I seen a fucking robot. Bro, I seen a fucking robot scanning motherfucking inventory at Walmart one time. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this fucking thing going down the aisle? And it was literally scanning inventory, bro.
That is crazy, bro. Because
like, bro, I don't know about y'all, bro, but like, fuck some robots.
They say rap is AI.
Nah, Roth is Jeffrey Dahmer. Fuck y'all talking about? That's Jeff Dahmer. Raphael Dahmer.
But I just think that I think we're gonna pull it off. It's gonna be a tough game though, because it's just that defense is for real. But as far as I think that we just need to be better on both sides of the ball, though. I think the proof is in the film, bro. I'm pretty sure they went into film and they had to be disgusted with that shit. You know what I mean? Like, especially the offensive line, like I was saying earlier, they're some of the most prideful guys on the field. They need to go out there and play with some pride this week, because that shit was ugly.
Their defense is still top tier, Steelers, right? I mean, is it
no? Their run game is atrocious. Yeah,
their run defense is not very good.
No, it's like I think it's 32nd. They're giving up 180 yards a game, and backup running backs
almost 200 yards, 5.6 yards a carry. Right. They're giving up.
So this would be a good opportunity for our offensive line and Jacobs to get some momentum going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to play their aggressiveness against it. You got to kind of play their aggressiveness against them, like when because they're gonna be rushing. They got those rushers that come off the edge, but you got to kind of play their aggressiveness against them, bro. And that's what teams have kind of been doing. And the Raiders need to do the same kind of some of the same stuff, dog. And like what I said, dog, the offensive line needs to play with some pride this week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they've been good in pass protection for the most part. It's just been a 180 hard opposite on the run blocking side of things.
Yeah, but your bread and butter is supposed to be the run. You know what I mean?
I've voiced how many times now my displeasure with the offensive line with the run game. Like, it's been, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I have never seen run blocking that bad last week in my time as a Raider fan. That was all time bad to me. And Dirty, shout out to him. And as far as to say that's the worst run blocking he's seen in football ever. And he watches a lot more football than what I do. So yeah, it was.
I've seen some pretty bad ones though.
Yeah, against the Bills, it was worse, man. I was there, and a couple of the drives are right in front of us, and
I mean,
literally the
you were
backups.
At the game.
Yeah, I was at the game in Buffalo.
Oh wow, okay.
The backups were pushing our guys off the line, our starters, and I remember because I was sitting next to the Raider bench, and I saw the offensive linemen between series. They were practicing run blocking on some of the defensive players and themselves because they were getting beat up so bad. And I'm like, these guys are just getting worked. I can't explain how slow they looked. And it's like, why do you look so slow? Like, you shouldn't be getting off the ball that slow. You shouldn't be getting worked with your hands. Their movement was all off. And, the only play we had that was really worth any yards was the sweep. It was like, that was our entire run offense for the game. I mean, Jacobs couldn't get to the line of scrimmage before he got touched. It was nuts. And it wasn't like one guy. It was like two or three. So he'd juke somebody or cut somebody, and then all of a sudden, bam, he would get hit by another guy, and that was the end of the play.
Right. Like, I mean, it'd be one thing. Like, I'd be on Jacobs a lot more than what I have been if Jacobs was running into at least a reasonable contest. But by the time he's getting handed the ball, there's already two guys in the backfield waiting for him. You know what I mean? Like, more specifically, looking at Van Rotten getting dog walked right into him in the first play of the game.
I'm not making no excuses for Josh Jacobs, bro, because Josh Jacobs had plenty of games last year, bro, where they were stacking the box and blowing us up, dude, and he was able to make people miss, bro. Josh Jacobs is clearly overweight. He's fat. He's slow. His vision is gone. I'm not giving him no credit, bro. If I'm not gonna make excuses for nobody, bro, I'm definitely not gonna make excuses for Josh. I have his autographed jersey on my wall. I love Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs looks nothing like he did last year. And we only have one new person on our offensive line. You can't sit here and tell me that just because we swapped out one guy on our offensive line, that now Josh Jacobs is having negative rushing yards, bro. I ain't feeding none of that shit, bro. Josh Jacobs is out of shape. This is training camp for him. This is preseason. And this is what happens when you decide to hold out on your fucking football team, dude. You're seeing it.
I think that. Oh yeah, I was talking about that earlier. You know what I think it is though too, like that what you're saying right there, that about Josh, dog. Like, I don't think that he's lost his vision. Probably everything else. What it is that his feet ain't doing what his brain is telling him, dog, right now, because he's out of shape. His feet.
I'm not saying he lost his vision, but it looks like he has.
I think it's just his feet ain't doing what his fucking brain's telling him right now, dog, because he's just not. He doesn't have that same balance right now, and it's just. I think he's playing himself into shape, but that's the repercussions of coming in so late into camp, and you know what I mean. Basically, getting in his preseason right now. You know what I mean. So it's like that's the and then like I was talking earlier, this if he ends up ending up like I'm pretty sure that he's gonna end up getting it. I think he's gonna end up, you know. He'll end up getting out of this funk. But if he doesn't, say for like, you know, hypothetically speaking, he doesn't, you know what I mean? That means he ended up costing himself more money than he ended up making himself, because he won't be paid like a top 5 running back if he doesn't get those numbers as a franchise tag next year. So, and then no other team is going to give him that type of contract. So that's what I'm saying. Like this is another big year for him. So he needs to be taking this shit just as serious, and that coming into training camp so late, I think it could end up biting him in the ass.
I dare say this is a big game for him. I mean, I spoke of the offensive line. I mean, you know, we have opposite opinions on the matter, Brady Ben, which I respect. But
it's all love off of Kasi.
Yeah, it's all love. It's all love. You know what I mean? But like both the offensive line and the running back game needs to get going. I mean, if that's the Steelers' weakness, then surely this is the game where we can build some momentum. And if we don't, then I think we're in trouble.
I think this is a game off of Kasi that we could possibly build momentum on both sides of the ball, dude. Because their defense, we can get back to, like I said on my last show, we got to establish our identity. I think this is a game where we can get back to running the football successfully, and I think this is a game that we can create some turnovers on, bro. Kenny Pickett has the 3rd lowest quarterback percentage right now in the NFL. He's like, I think, only behind like 2 other guys in terms of QBR. Like, he's playing horrible. They're the worst team in the NFL on 3rd down. Yeah, dude. So this is a game not only that with them being so bad against the run, I think we can get our run game going, which can establish our identity, and then maybe we can force a couple turnovers. So we'll see, man.
Right. We need this. We need this game as a bounce back game. I fear that if we have another stinking performance like last week, then that will probably dictate the way this season's going to go. So we need to bounce back. We need this win.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and a lot of us are going to that Chargers game, bro. Like, we don't want to be going to that game after a loss. We want to go in that game after a win.
You know, a lot of people are going. I know a lot of people.
I'll be there.
I'll be there. Dirty will be there. Dirty Low.
I'm gonna be at the Best Western right around the corner from SoFi. I'm just gonna walk to SoFi, park my car at the fucking hotel.
Yeah, SoFi tailgating isn't the funnest, but it'll do for games.
I had season tickets in Oakland, bro. So I'm from the town. I'm Oakland Raiders all the way. So, but I've never been to LA. This is gonna be my first ever LA experience. So
that's why it's gonna be good, because like everybody's gonna be there for your first like experience and all that shit too, and like it's gonna be a lot of people there that we just like, you know, that we even just like are kind of like in our circle kind of stuff, you know, where you know that we kind of like, you know, always go back and forth on lives and shit like that. So a lot of them people are going, you know, a lot of people from the chat are going that you know are gonna go out there and meet us and shit. So it's gonna be crazy, dog. It's gonna be a good weekend. Hopefully we can go in there 2-1.
Imagine if we go in that bitch 2-1 and the Chargers are 0-3, bro. Ain't no Charger fan going to that game. That stadium is gonna be completely blacked out, bro.
It's blacked out anyways. Usually, that's a home game for us.
Yeah, that's gonna be a home game.
Yeah, see, that's another reason why I'm gonna start going there, because having season tickets in Oakland, like, it's cheaper for me to just drive down from Stockton to fucking LA than it is for me to spend fucking $4,000 in 2 days in Vegas, bro. Like, I just think LA is gonna be my new home, bro. Like,
you know what the sad thing is that as it stands, you probably get more of a home game experience going to an LA game than going to Allegiant as it stands.
Facts.
That needs to change.
LA 100% has more Raider fans in it than any other state that I've been to.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, where in the 209 are you at, dog?
Newman, outside Modesto.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I don't know if you recognize me, bro, but I hit you up on Twitter. I was trying to get you to join my show and shit on Friday nights and shit. You say you usually booked and shit, but I'll try to
message me. I lost your DM, man. I was looking for it.
Yeah, that's me, dog. I hit you up, bro.
Yeah, so
I'll hit you back up. I'll be at that Chargers game for sure, so we'll definitely link at that game no matter what.
It's fun there. All the Raider usually they have like a LA Raider takeover and a couple of the boosters get together. So last year I don't remember what lot it was, but last year it was just a parking lot full of Raider fans.
I think we're gonna be a lot, Jay. We're gonna be a lot, Jay. So, I mean,
Can't be a takeover when we never really lost LA, right?
Vegas. We'll be in the. I think in SoFi, the one where you can barbecue and all that shit is the pink lot.
That's what it is. Yeah.
I'm gonna be driving down from Stockton. I'm leaving Sunday morning at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and driving straight from Stockton to LA.
Yeah, we're gonna meet at Roscoe's.
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna. That's gonna be my first stop is Roscoe's. It's like a 7-hour drive, 6-hour drive. I'm probably just taking it easy.
The whole fucking restaurant's gonna be full of fucking Raider fans at Roscoe's. It's gonna be crazy. That morning's gonna be cool though.
I miss football season, man. It's this thing. I just want us to have a winning season in Vegas so people can enjoy how hardcore fans we are. Because if we start winning in Vegas, you're gonna have a lot of those people in Oakland who normally don't go to games. Yeah. Those people in LA who normally don't go to games, they're gonna start buying tickets. And that's the thing. Like I was joking with some of my friends because my friends go to games, and a couple of them aren't season ticket holders. And it's like they're paying $500 per ticket per game just to go watch them lose.
Yeah,
like
that's how much I pay.
Yeah, it's like people don't want to do that.
Yeah, like we will.
And that's $500 to sit at the top too, bro. That's not a good seat. That's $500.
And it sounds bad.
I paid $1,000 to sit in a black hole.
Yeah, like some of us will go. Some of us will go because we're die hard. You know what I mean? We're gonna go regardless. I mean, I want to go. I'm going this week. I'm going next week. You know what I mean? There's still a chance that I might go to the Green Bay one too. So, I just think that but there's a lot of people, dog, like out here in LA too, that like they'll be like before the season starts, they'll be like, yeah, let's go to Raider game this year, and then I'll hit them up when it's time to go, and it's like, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? It's like. Because it's like
I already got my tickets.
That consistent winning though, if you get that consistent winning in here, they'll be like, hell yeah, let's fucking go. You know what I mean? Because they know they're gonna go see like a game where they're gonna win or something like that. But
I don't even say anymore, like, because you used to say like, oh, do you go to games? You're not a fan? Because Oakland was like $100 to go, $50. There's times when I remember when Jamarcus was playing, it's like, hey, we'll give you a ticket if you come. And
dog, I had season tickets in section 333, bro. I was paying $50 a seat, bro.
Yeah. Mine were like 120 or something like that, and I was at the bottom, so it's like it was dirt cheap.
But the beauty of Oakland is that like no matter what, their stadiums would like always be packed out with predominantly Raider fans. I mean, I remember watching on TV the season where we went 0-10. And watching that game against the Chiefs in the rain. I think you were there, Raider.
I was at that game, yep.
Yeah, and that stadium was rocking. It was almost like it was sold out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's different.
Sorry to cut you off. Is that your name?
Well, see, the Raiders were blacked out for a long time, dude, until they shut down Mount Davis. I used to not be able to watch Raider games growing up as a kid, bro, unless I went to the game because they would black them out in the area because they didn't sell enough tickets. And then they put the tarp over Mount Davis, and then once they put the tarp over Mount Davis, then you started to see them on TV more. But the Raiders used to be so bad, bro. We would be blacked out. If I'm not mistaken, it was some of those games were during the Jamarcus Russell era.
Yeah, they wouldn't even show. They put on some like the Cardinals or like the Seahawks.
Yeah,
and they
would put an East Coast team on like the Giants and the Jets that are all the way up. Like, bro, fuck.
We were forced to get DirecTV every year, and we had
Sunday ticket.
Sunday ticket. That's the only way we're watching the Raiders. Dog, we pay for it every year. There was times where I would call and be like, "Hey, bro, I'm leaving. I'm about to fucking cancel," and they would give it to me for free though. And so I knew how to beat the system.
Well, see, I could kind of understand for like,
don't leave. We'll give it for you for free. Don't worry. I'll be like, oh yeah, for real?
Dope.
I'll stay.
Yeah, I could kind of understand like people like you guys that are in LA and shit, but like say for like see me or somebody like Josh, like we're from like the 209. We're from the local market, so they always play the game. So you know it's bad when they're blacking out the local games, bro. It's like, yeah, dog.
We don't live far
this
from
team
Oakland.
Is really, yeah, we're not exactly, bro. We're like 70 miles away from Oakland, so.
I hate
but
that
now they're always on TV because it's a money market. But that's the only thing I tell this when I get a podcast article. That's the number one thing I hate. I have never felt so poor in my life going and fucking the Vegas stadium. like 100%.
Bro,
I'm like,
just
what
going
the
to Vegas
what
on
the
a
fuck
game
did I
day
do
weekend.
wrong?
Bro, like, bro, it's like when you see those TikTok videos of people like, oh, what a $100,000 seat looks like. What the fuck?
Who the fuck?
Yeah.
And like, I was chopping it up with somebody, like, and they were saying like, yeah, this guy buys suites, blah blah blah, things like that. And they're saying, yeah, there's a dude that spends $900,000 a year for his Raider tickets. And I was just like,
fucking Jesus.
What kind of drugs do I have to sell to make $900,000? But I was like, fucking A, man. And so like that's the type of money. I remember when I went to the Win Club for the first time. I sold my seats and went down there because a bunch of my friends were going. I look behind me, fucking Floyd Mayweather's behind me, and I'm like, oh, this is different.
Wow.
And I asked the rep, I'm like, hey, how much are these seats? He's like, oh, 60,000.
Holy
like, what?
shit.
And
Crazy.
so it's like, yeah, $60,000 for like 10 or 12 people.
And that's the fucked up thing, bro. Like, I love Mark Davis. I wouldn't say I love him. I like Mark Davis, but like I hate Mark Davis, bro. Because like I can understand the move to Vegas and shit, but when he did that, dog, he completely sold out all the true Raider fans. Now it's just whoever's got the biggest pockets.
You know what though too, like Libby, fucking whatever her name was, fucking. She was
the mayor.
She was.
Yeah,
she
Libby
got
Schaaf.
everybody in there, bro. She got everybody up out of Oakland.
I mean, I don't know if it was her, but I think it's probably the city of Oakland as a whole, bro, because don't nobody really want to go to Oakland that ain't from like out here, bro. Like Oakland's really ghetto.
Hey, I came with
capital.
Hey, but if she wasn't there though, I think they would have got another stadium, dog.
I don't know.
Or
I think the Raiders leaving in. I feel like the Raiders leaving Oakland was inevitable. I just never thought they would leave California.
Yeah, I thought they would go across the bay or like up north or something. Like, you know,
they should have went back to LA. They should have came back to LA instead of the Chargers, bro.
Either there or went to Sacramento, bro.
The Chargers would have failed in Vegas. Nobody would have come.
Or San Diego should have built them another stadium.
Yeah,
fucking. We should have came with the Rams over here. Fucking if we had to play in there, we knew we would have took over.
Yeah, I would rather rent with the Rams, dog. Fuck that. Fuck me.
Yeah, we would have took over that stadium regardless. That would have been known as our stadium. Just Kroenke's the owner. That's it.
Exactly. I've always considered LA as South Oakland.
What?
What's up,
Rafa? Sorry, he's been real quiet, but just want to ask Rafa, have you been to a game yet? When do you plan on going to a game if you haven't been? Is he even still there?
He's a TV fan. You don't go to games.
If you're a Raider fan, you got to try and at least go once.
You have to, dog. Like
I feel like as any fan, you got to go to a game.
Hey, if I'm Australian, if I can make a game, then you know,
anybody
financially,
can, right?
You know what I mean. I get it. Like people need to work their finances up, but if you're in the States and there's a game locally, there's no reason why you shouldn't make the effort to go and see at least one game.
Yeah, and the thing I tell people, it's cheaper. It's cheaper to go to away games for the Raiders. So it's like, even with travel and like hotel, it's cheaper. It was cheaper for me. Like I have season tickets, but it was cheaper for me to go to New York with my kid than go to Vegas, drive out to Vegas, get a hotel, do all that stuff because everything's like doubled, tripled in price.
Exactly.
And
that's what I was going to say.
This weekend is crazy, bro. Like there's a festival going on over there. Then like
EDC.
Like, there's some type of festival going on out there. Like, but then there's like a so fucking it's up there by Fremont though. I don't know what it is, but and then it's the Raider game, the opening weekend. So all kinds of like the blackout parties on Saturday and all that shit. So it's a busy weekend this weekend over there. And I'm gonna be there, that's for sure. I'm gonna be there since tomorrow night. We're gonna be shroomed out. I'm gonna be shroomed the fuck out. I'm gonna be chilling.
Hey, how many milligrams is that candy bar you got?
Every candy bar has 4 grams in it.
Oh, okay. You about to eat that whole shit or what?
I'm gonna eat. I have 2 of them, so I'm gonna eat one, and the other homie's gonna eat another.
I don't know how you guys do this shit high. I'm like spacing off.
Dude, I do my fucking Black Saturdays, bro, where I talk shit about fake Raider fans and fucking the other football teams, bro, and I be high as fuck on mushrooms, bro.
Did you see
I eat mushrooms like 4 grams. I'll be fucked, bud.
Did you see the guy on my page that was like sent me a DM? Was happy that the Saints were 2-0 and we were 1-1. I fucking put on my page. I couldn't. I'm like, dude, you're not a Raider fan. You're a Derek Carr fan. Like, you're rooting for us to lose and for him to win. Like, that's not means you're a fan. That doesn't mean you're a fan of our team. I was like, fucking hey, man.
Yeah, like I fuck with Wi-Fi Willie, but Wi-Fi Willie's kind of on that train. It's like, I don't know, dog.
No, I've dealt with that because we're close to Fresno, so you get a lot of people that are loyal to him versus the Raiders.
Yeah, exactly. I had him on my podcast a few weeks ago, and he made that very clear. That's one of the main reasons why he loves Derek. And I mean, I completely understand that, bro. It makes sense, but it's just cringy. It's just like, ugh, bro. Like, I love you, dog, but I just can't listen to this, dog.
Oh,
like,
it's gonna get worse because you know the Saints are gonna win their division most likely. Like, the only competition is Atlanta.
I got Atlanta or the Bucks winning, dog. The Bucks look good right now. Yeah, Bucks
Baker
really
is surprising,
good.
But Baker usually fucks off and does something stupid by the end of the year.
You're right. But I think they would be the clear cut to win that division. But like I said, I do like the Bucks and I do like the Falcons to have a shot though.
Yeah.
Because I think at some point teams are I don't know, bro. Like teams already know Derek, but if that Saints defense just keeps playing like the way they're playing, like Marshawn Lattimore is like the top ranked corner, yeah, they'll probably win. It'll be easy for him. It'll be a walk in the park, which he kind of deserves. Like I hate Derek Carr, bro. Like he kind of deserves success, and I hate to say it, bro, because I hate Derek Carr, bro. But like, dude, he went through some shit with our team, dude, and like, I want to
hate every other team, bro. I hate the same.
But I don't want. I wish Derek Carr no success in life, and I hope he steps on Legos. Like I don't want him to win.
No, you're right. I said on my show if there's one person that I would love to run their face into a slab of concrete, it was Derek Carr.
Yeah, and because
I hate Derek.
I understand the consequences if he wins. If he wins, they're going to talk shit about Davis. They're going to talk shit about Ziegler. They're going to talk more shit about McDaniels.
Yep.
And then they're going to start going after our team. And then they're going to call it like, we fucking told you. We told you he was this, he was that. It was the Raiders. We suck. Fuck you. You know, it's going to, the shit talking's going to get so bad. And I told people, I prepared myself from day one. I'm like, they're going to win 10 to 11 games. They may win their division, and they're going to get knocked out the first round. He goes to an elite team. And the minute he plays an elite defense, goes against some elite corners, or plays a quarterback that's elite and better him, like he did with Herbert Mahomes, and the only team he ever beat was Denver. You know, it's going to be bad. His colors are going to show regardless of how good that D is. Like look at Jets D and Zach Wilson. Like they can't. Your defense can't save you every time. You know, and that's why I was getting shit talked to me, because I posted that in the end zone he was in there twice and he didn't score. And I'm like, oh, same shit fucking as the Raiders. We get to the 5-yard line, couldn't get 6 points. We got 3, and that's what happened.
I guess for me, like just my personal opinion, I mean, everybody's each to their own, but the way I saw it when his time as a Raider was over, I'd rather look back and appreciate the good times rather than look at it how it's ended. But at the same time, now as it stands, I don't care what Derek Carr is doing over there. Right now, I'm focused on what are we doing? What's going on in our quarterback room? Is Jimmy G the guy? Is he the answer, or do we need to look at maybe Aiden O'Connell if Jimmy G doesn't prove to be the guy moving forward by week 10, or if we need to draft again next year? You know, I mean, that's my only focus. What Derek Carr does from here, if he's not a Raider, I personally don't care.
We play him next year, though. Did you know that? In New Orleans.
Ooh. Yeah, and I'll be rooting for the Raiders.
It's gonna be vicious.
Raider, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm a keep it a beanther, dog. I watch every single Saints game, bro, praying for like him to get hurt or like fail or like, dude, I just can't wait for it to just completely blow up, dog.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he has like the worst of the worst, bro. Like I'm a piece of shit, bro, and that's the reason why I am who I am, dog. But fuck Derek Carr, dude. He didn't do shit for us. I don't want him to win nowhere else, even though he does. Like I said, he deserves it, but I don't wish him no success, bro. Fuck him.
So I'm on the train with him. The thing is, I was like, because Derek Carr's so nice, such a nice dude. Like
exactly.
I've been to Fresno State games. Like I've talked to him personally, been on the sideline with him, like super nice to my kids, like all that stuff. And I didn't like him when that stuff happened. And I got hate for it. And the thing is, like, he was such a nice guy. Then he started opening his mouth. Then his brother started opening his mouth. You're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
he's just like any other player. They're any other player. They have an ego. They want to win. They want to fight. They want to play. And on the way out, he did shit on some doors. And after that, I was like, no, I'm done. I was like,
once his brothers got on Twitter and started rooting for other teams and shit like that, I was like, oh yeah, bro, y'all.
Are you guys blocked by Derek Carr? Because I am,
bro.
I wasn't on that train yet either, dog. Like when he got let go, I was kind of like thinking like, yeah, they did him wrong and all this shit, right? And then like once he started talking all that shit, like I understand where he was coming from, but I still was like, nah, bro, because you all that shit that you talk when you were here about, Raider through and all that shit. I don't give a fuck what an organization says. Like if I'm a Raider, like it's just I don't know. I just didn't like it.
And he lied.
Especially us as fans. You know what I mean?
He lied, bro. He's a snake oil. He was selling us snake oil, dog. He literally said, if I don't retire as a Raider, I'll go play golf, dog. He said that out of his own mouth, and then he went to the Saints for a visit, for a trade, and instead of us getting anything for him, and at one point he was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and for him to just be like, oh well, fuck you, I'm not let you get shit. You're gonna release me, and I'm still gonna go to the Saints. And I'm going to let my brothers talk shit, which is probably me just on my brother's account. Like, bro, fuck him, dude. Like, fuck that dude, bro. That's a painter, bro.
Yeah, I didn't like about that either. I mean, I don't hate him, but I was like just like put off by that shit. I was just like, whatever.
Just while we're talking about quarterback, just to shift it a little bit. If we're looking at the quarterbacks that we've got, to be honest, like I said, I don't care what Derek. I'm focused on our team. My question is this: with Jimmy G, how long do you give him to prove that he's the guy before? Right, if he doesn't prove it by whatever week, then we need to see what our other options are. How long are you guys giving him?
I'd say if we're 2-8, 3-7, maybe. I'd say that's
so 10 weeks. And if we're 2-8 by then,
yeah. Because if we're 4-4, 5-3, maybe 3-5, and we have a good game, like, hey, we're 3-5, 3-4. Hey, we can get a win or two, go on a run, be in the playoffs, like we were last year. They're going to want to win because they know if they put Aiden Connell in, we're not going to compete.
We're pretty much folding.
We're tanking. So, but that brings up the other subjects, like, okay, are Jimmy G and McDaniels linked together now because that's McDaniels' guy. Are they going to try to cut him?
And he understood about the system.
Yeah. Are they going to try to get rid of him? What are they going to do? Because Jimmy he's a bridge quarterback for 2-3 years. That's all he is. He's not a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, he's the guy that's supposed to get you to the other guy, which is why I think they've drafted O'Connell. But O'Connell's going to be a guy that's not going to be ready. He's going to be like, hopefully he can take that, that time that, Tyree was supposed to have, to a certain point, it was not the same, but like O'Connell at least should be able to like redshirt this year, bro, like just to be able to like soak in everything, just be able to, so that way next year if it's a battle in camp, you know what I mean, and let's see who can win the job straight out, you know what I mean. But
so what would be your floor, Gabe?
My floor, I think it would have to be like somewhere around like that too, but I wouldn't say like shit. I would say, fuck, man. I would go like 3, and if we're like 3 and like 6, yeah, like the first 9 games, I would say 6, like 9 games, 8 games. But if we're like, 2 and 6, fuck, man, like
what? You benching for O'Connell?
Yeah.
Well, then we'd be in the sweepstakes for the number 1 pick. So it's like,
yeah. Then it's like, damn.
We'd be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, man.
Yeah. Then I'm like, let's go out and get Caleb then.
Right.
Fuck it. Let's just go out and go get Caleb.
Do you guys think McDaniels makes it through the year?
Oh, if it's 2 and 8 like that, 2 and 9, like they better not. Like I hope not.
I'd say if he wins at least 6, he might just scrape another year. But anything less than that, they all got to go.
Yeah. That's what I was telling people and talking about. I was like,
it can't be less.
6 wins will scrape him in.
Yeah,
but
anything
less than that,
we have to be in some type of improvement from last year. 6, 7, 8. I'm like, he keeps his job. Anything less, or I even was telling people, if Jimmy G gets hurt and we do bad, I think he gets fired. You know, say our team has a couple really bad injuries, they go on IR, or whatever the case may be, and we're a 3-4 win team. I think he would get fired then, without question. Like, it would be like afterthought. He's gone. Jimmy's gone.
But all that shit can be switched up this week. Like if Jimmy plays good, if we play, you know, if we're able to, I think it's all predicated on how we can get that run game going, dog. Like that's what Jimmy's game is like, kind of built around. Like if we can get that run game going, then Jimmy starts looking better. You know, then Jimmy starts playing to his strengths. Then he can start using his tight ends a little bit more, because right now it's just it's all basically, you know, he's too much focusing on one guy, two guys like that. But it's because he's more used to like playing off the play action, and there's tight ends wide open, or like he's just like. But I just think this is the type of he needs the run game, like 100%.
I mean, it all depends.
Be successful.
I mean, it all depends right now. So, before I leave right now, I just wanted to tell you that if we don't have, because if we don't have like a good game plan against Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, we're screwed, because it all depends for the defense. And I believe if Jimmy Garoppolo can stay healthy at 100%, and if he do like a great performance at Pittsburgh Steelers and at the home opener at Las Vegas, I mean, we don't have to blame about it, because right now I just wanted to focus a lot about the defense, the red zone, and the special teams. And I just wanted to tell you that about all about the stuff right now. So salute to you, Raider Gabe, the GOAT, Afakasi. And that morning I was joining with the morning show with Nate that I could have put up, and I was promoting about the point that about Robert Spillane and about the defense. But I guarantee that this Sunday is going to be really different, with a different gameplay. And of course, we want to see Robert Spillane performance, and I wanted to see the linebacker room is going to really improve, because we need to center to focus on about the game, because after like a disaster performance against Buffalo Bills, it's time for a redemption. Because I know the last year we just lost on Christmas Day, but this time it's going to be completely different. We got the quarterback, we got the right receiver, Jakobi Meyers, we got the linebacker room, we got the whole defense going to improve about this time. So we are ready. And I just wanted to tell you, salute to the chat, to the panel, Raider Gabe, Go Dafakasi, much love and respect for Capitan Rafael. And one more thing to say, fuck the Steelers, Raider Nation for life. Salute everybody.
All right, Rafa, you have a good one, man. Yeah, for sure, man. I just this weekend is gonna be a big thing, because this is I think it's like a strength on strength type thing, you know. Like their defense is you know, the better part of their team, and our offense is the better part of our team, and you know, and it's just like strength on strength. Who can come out on top this weekend, man? Like it's just their defense is good, but if we can start the run game off good, and which is their actual weakness on the defense, then I think that we can exploit this defense, like especially use their aggressiveness against them, kind of like their pass rushing. We could use like the screen game. We could use it, but it all starts with the run game, bro. So that, and having some better defensive line play, those are the biggest factors I think of this weekend. It's great that we got, you know, Jakobi Meyers back. You know, that was in basically in the thumbnail too. You know, he got basically, it was Josh McDaniels confirmed, you know, in his press conference that Jakobi is clear to play for the weekend. So you know, he's gonna have his full arsenal of receivers out there. You know what I mean? So Jimmy shouldn't have no excuses this weekend, man. Especially if the line plays better, I think that, you know, Jimmy should have a good game this week, man. So I think we should be like in the 20-point range, somewhere around there, somewhere in the 20s at least. Because I do have some respect for the Steeler defense a little bit, but I just think that it's gonna be like a grind them out game, but we'll still end up getting our points. And we'll end up. I think we're gonna end up scraping like a turnover or two out of there, dog. I think that this week, I think Peters could be like he could kind of bait a guy who's like just he's not responsible sometimes with the ball. I think Kenny Pickett sometimes could be a little gun like he try to be a gunslinger, and he'll just put it in places where I think the defense could take advantage. I think Peters takes advantage of one of those this weekend. I think we get some turnovers this weekend, bro. So I think that's my keys basically to the game of winning this weekend. But I'll go like 23-20, bro. I have it a pretty damn close game, a field goal game. It's like 23-20. I have it like somewhere around that type of game.
I see that. Like we're gonna win by 3 or 4 points. Like I don't think we're gonna lose this game. The Steelers aren't a good team. They may be 1-1. They may beat us last year, but they're a 6-7 win team. They're a below average team. Their offense is not good. They don't have good quarterback play. Najee Harris is not elite. He's not a good runner. So their offense is mediocre compared to ours. Everybody tries to, pump up their defense. Their defense is not that good. They get a lot of sacks and they get turnovers, but beyond that, they get a lot of yards and points put against them because, same thing. They have some good players, and then after that, it's garbage. They can't stop the run. So I think Jacobs does get it going this week. I see Jacobs doing, probably I'd say 110 yards maybe. They're going to feed him the ball like crazy. So I see it scoring, 24-26. I'm probably going to go a 26-24 game with us getting a W.
Oh yeah, man. That's all that matters at the end of the day. The dub. Like Dominic Toretto said, doesn't matter if it's by inch or a mile.
Just win, baby. It doesn't matter how. Just
exactly.
Get it done, right? Yeah. Look, Lentic, I saw your comment before. Salute to you. I by no means have given up on Jimmy G after just 1 week or throwing him under the bus. I was just simply asking the question because we were talking about the quarterback situation. But look, he had 1 bad week. I'm still gonna, have faith in him to get the job done. Hopefully, he's our guy moving forward. So, you know what I mean. And hopefully, this is a week where he can have a better performance, be a little bit more efficient. And at the very least, he has been playing tough, which I can appreciate. You know what I mean. And week 1, he was making plays that when it counted, and I like that. But yeah, look, I'm looking at the run game to get going. I mean, if their run defense is as bad as you say, Jesse, then this is a great opportunity for us to build some momentum. So, hopefully this is the game, and defensively we can be better. I mean, defensive line, we got to find an answer outside of Crosby. You know what I mean? Crosby can't do it all. Like somebody's got to emerge as being a decent guy who can give him some kind of support, whether it's an interior or whether it's on the other side with Kuntz or Tyree Wilson. You know what I mean? Like somebody's got to be better. You know what I mean? So I expect this game to be an ugly game. Maybe low scoring, but I don't care as long as we get the win. That's all that counts, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's all that
matters. I do want some more. I do want some turnovers too. More turnovers.
Yes, that's the equalizer.
We got this right here. We got this many. That's it.
Yeah.
We got one.
We got one. Oh, we got fumble recovery, huh?
No, it was an interception by Tima.
Interception.
It wasn't brought back.
I thought it was brought back. I thought we had no pick or no.
Yeah, it was brought back. It was. I think it was brought by a penalty.
I thought that it was only the fumble recovery by Diablo in game 1 that got called back.
No, I think because then the second game we also too it was an interception that was called back. I didn't know I didn't even know who got it because I was like, I think it was like towards like in the middle of the game where I kind of I think I stepped inside or something like that. But when I came back outside, I was so pissed. I was just like, "What? We got an interception." But
by the time the game had already gotten away, where I was basically kind of lost interest. So,
oh, dude, I was there.
I still watched
it, but it was bad.
It was already gone.
Yeah, I can imagine, bro.
I sat there the whole game. I'm like, you know what? I paid for the flight and tickets. I'm not leaving. And I just, I was lucky.
I feel bad for you, man, making that effort to go see a stinking performance.
So I'm in California.
But he was at Denver. But he was in Denver too, though, in week 1. So he got to see that too.
I go to like 14, 15 games a year. But, Buffalo from me is 3,000 miles away. So you got to fly 3,000 miles there, 3,000 miles back, and then watch them get their asses kicked. It was rough.
Yeah,
but I flew 10,000 miles to go see the Raiders play. That was my biggest fear coming to California to see the Raiders play was that if they gotten blown out to fly that far just to see an ugly game, that scared the shit out of me. Yeah, that was that turned out to be our very last home win in Oakland.
That's great, man.
Yeah,
that's
crazy,
cool.
right?
You went the same year that I went that year too. I went to the last Monday night game in Oakland, the one where they played. It was basically the first game when they played Denver, and stupid ass Antonio Brown, fucking the day before.
I remember that
on Instagram.
Yeah, I remember watching. Like I kind of snuck away from work to watch the game when I could on my phone out in the desert, and I remember the commentators are trying to speak, and all you can hear was the Coliseum loudly and proudly chanting "Fuck AB, fuck AB." Yep. They actually had to stop the commentary just so that you could hear the crowd like chanting the whole game. That's crazy.
It was out in that stadium that day. That chant. And then fucking Jonathan Abram came out like a bat out of hell. Even hurt himself. Fucking running into the damn camera truck or whatever it was. I forgot what it was. He fucking ended up missing the whole season after that shit.
Right.
But yeah, that was a good game. I remember that game. That show was a badass game though, because we ended up pulling it off. You know, last Monday night game in Oakland. But man, that show was. There's nothing like Oakland, bro. Those tailgates were one of a kind, bro. Like,
I'm so glad I got to experience it just once.
Yeah,
I mean,
tailgating in Vegas is mid at best. It's
if you were to compare Oakland to Buffalo, what would you say?
So I would say Buffalo was bigger. It's more spread out. So it's not like Oakland around a Coliseum. Like I said, you're literally in a neighborhood. You know, there's like a quick stop and there's houses like next to the stadium. So it's plop in the middle of like a rural neighborhood. I would say Raider fans were a little more rowdy, to be honest. we're a little louder.
Can I ask what got you higher? The Bills tailgate or the Raiders tailgate?
Oh, Raiders, 100%. Yeah,
I don't smoke weed. I got stoned like just walking through the tailgate, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, no. So like
even more light, everything, just like it's just it's crazy.
Dude, you could see the smoke like from 10 miles away emerging from the stadium, and that's not barbecue.
We used to be in line. You know what I mean? We used to be in line for the stadium to open right at 1:00 games. We used to be in line for the stadium at like 5:00 in the morning, just for the gates to open. But we would be in the lines, drinking, smoking, like while you're waiting in line, just for the thing. And then right when they open, boom, the people would be cooking in the lines from 5:00 in the morning because they would open like at 8:00 in the morning.
Yeah, they'd be tailgating outside of the tailgate area.
Yeah.
It ain't like that in Vegas. It's completely different in Vegas. And I tell people, you'll have, like, you know how in Oakland everybody was there at 9. The parking lot was like 3/4 filled by like 9:30. In Vegas, people show up like at 10 or 11, and there's usually like I go to J Lot, so it's a lot of older Black Hole fans, and there's only like 3 rows of cars, and that's it. It's not filled. There's always parking, so it's kind of it's a lot different.
There's only like 1 row in J Lot like that's like almost has almost the feel of like
the vibe, like
that first row.
Because they put up all their tents, and they're almost touching up top, and all you see is like weed and barbecue smoke. This is over you the whole time.
Yeah, that's like Oakland was all like that, but that 1 row in J Lot, like it's that first row like everybody parks in right away because those are the first people that are in the lines because they're used to doing that from Oakland, so like they're old tailgaters anyway, so they're like they get that same vibe a little bit. Like there's a DJ that comes from Oakland all the time, and he parks right there in that first line on J Lot too, like right here in Vegas. So it's pretty cool, man. It gets pretty crazy. That one, but you have to make that one. We always do though when we go to the Vegas game. We make sure that we're in line.
How many Vegas games have you been to, Gabe, and Jesse as well? Like how many?
Well, this one will be 5. This one will be 5 this weekend.
And what about you, Jesse? How many games have you been to in Vegas?
I've missed only like 2 or 3. So I go all the time.
Yeah, okay, so you've been to all but 2 or 3. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Had like 17, now 18. This is gonna be 18 games, something like that at home.
And we have a losing record at home. That's the worst part.
Oh, my apologies. I called you Jesse.
I don't want to be rude and correct if somebody did for you.
Sorry, this is my first time sharing the panel with you. So Josh.
No, you're good. No, yeah. And the thing is, so like, and I give the perfect example of Vegas. So sometimes I'll sell my tickets and I'll sit somewhere else, or I'll get more because I'll take my kids or whatever the case may be. And I remember I was sitting in the front row in the end zone where the quote unquote black hole is in Vegas. And I was there for the Washington game. And to my left is Washington fans. To my right is a Washington fan with golf tees in his fucking pocket, wearing New Balances like he just got off the golf course. I was like, that's what was in the black hole in Las Vegas. And I'm like, this ain't the same. Like I told people, that was the first year we came out. Like, it's not the same. It's a tourist town.
I don't see that in a black hole in Oakland.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When I went to the black hole in Oakland, there was not a fan in like even in the vicinity in the whole kind of section behind the goalpost. Like the closest fans were like right on the other side.
Yeah, you got your ass beat. If you were in the black hole and you're the opposing team, you got beat up. Like you just didn't go there.
Those two drunk motherfuckers in there, rowdy, and it was crazy because a lot of those people had their season tickets and they weren't letting them go over there. They were like black hole to the fullest, dog. Members, like the black hole had their own fucking like booster shit and everything out there, dog. Like the black hole was like that guy that passed away too, like rest in peace to that Raider Rob, I think it was, or he was kind of like a founder of the black hole too in Oakland and shit like that. So he was like but they would get crazy, bro. They were like, the black hole was crazy because they were like a group of fools that always got tickets to there. So it was kind of hard for an opposing guy to even get tickets to be in the black hole anyway.
Right. You know what I mean? I had to pay $1,000 to get like $1,000 each ticket to get my seats in the black hole. Right, I sat directly behind Gorilla Rilla, but for me it was like, if I'm going to go to the States and I'm going to go to a Raider game, I want that black hole experience. I don't care how much I had to pay. You know what I mean? If, at the time I was financially a little bit better than I am now, so I was just like, you know what, whatever, I'll pay whatever price. I'm not sitting up in no bleachers. I want that true Oakland Coliseum experience. So
hey, Lunatic's talking about a different kind. Lunatic's talking about a different kind though, right here. This comment right here. A different kind of Vegas. Look at Loon. He's from Lunatic's from Vegas. He does the morning shows. He does the Lunatic shows in the morning, like he has like every morning at 7 in the morning. He's on.
Is it 7 or 7:30?
7. No, it's 7. Yeah, I think it's 7. He did it 7:30 for a little bit, but he's been going for 7 for like a year straight already and shit. Damn. It's 7 o'clock every morning. He goes crazy too on Fridays. Fuck Your Team Friday. He has Fuck Your Team Fridays on at 7 in the mornings. He goes off on the teams every Fridays.
Oh, fuck the Steelers. I got a Steeler fan that lives around the corner. I don't even know the guy really, but when they lost to the Bengals, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, and got knocked out of the playoffs. I shit you not, I've met this guy in passing once, but he always has Steelers flags up on his house. I went and got a Bengals flag off Amazon, and then put it in his front yard, and then put a little note said, "Please return to," and I put my address. I got to return this on Amazon. And like 4 days later, he showed up to my house and knocked on the door. He's like, "Hey, I got your flag. That was funny." And I was like, "Fuck." But yeah, I don't like the Steelers, man.
I don't like them either. Oh my God, I went to the game 2 years ago when they played in Pittsburgh. I went to Pittsburgh, and that game was when Ruggs caught that touchdown.
Ruggs went off, yeah,
to win the game basically, because they were like coming back on us, and the stadium was getting crazy loud. And then when Ruggs scored that touchdown, you could hear a pin drop in that motherfucker. All you could hear is me and and some of the Raider fans that were around me. And we were just like, yeah, we were like talking shit, dog. And then fucking, there was some old people in front of us, just like, they kept looking back. Some older lady and some older man were like, "Can you sit down?" I was like, "Hell no. I didn't fly all the way out here. I didn't fly all the way out here to be quiet. You crazy? I'm gonna talk as loud as I want." And I was just like, I wasn't like talking like shit to her, like being aggressive to her. I was just like, I was like either laughing. I'm like, nope. I was like, I'm gonna be as loud as I want. And fucking, I was just, and then every time they would make a first down, right? Like, because they have that channel where they're like, that's a Steelers first down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every time the Raiders would do it, I would do it myself. I would be like, that's another Raider first down. And they would getting pissed, bro. They were getting pissed.
The first year in Vegas, I got asked to sit down. They're like, some people behind me, Raider fans asked me to sit down so they can watch the game. I'm just like, fuck you.
Fuck, man. Nah, and then even after the game, I over there in Pittsburgh, I was walking out, and because like it's a bunch of over there, like the people that sell the terrible towers is just a bunch of like street vendors, right? Like out of the stadium, you're just walking, and there's just a bunch of foods with boxes of them. And like I was like, hey, how much is your toilet paper? How much is that toilet paper right there? After the game, and they were already all pissed, and they kept saying, "Fuck you." I was just laughing though. Now I was like, "Hey, I need to wipe my ass. I need someone to wipe my ass." I just kept telling them, "I'll take two, man. Because I need some toilet paper right now. I need to go to the restroom right now."
They were doing that shit in Denver. They're trying to give out orange towels to get them to wave them around and shit. And I was like, "It's hella dumb."
Yeah, I was just like, "Hell no."
We don't do that in Vegas, do we? We don't have no towel game or whatever.
They tried it the first year. They give away towels every game, and then they gave away the one that said like Raider Nation or something on it. And they're trying to wave your towels, and they realized like, no, it ain't working.
Yeah,
like we're just loud.
It's just not our thing.
I got a couple of those towels too from the first season, the Ravens game, and then the Miami game. But yeah, it's not the same.
I will say the gifts are better in Vegas. Like the stuff they give you, the promotion team, like the swag, it's better in Oakland. I remember my last gift in Oakland for a season ticket holder was a fucking nylon flag that was folded up in an envelope. That was it. It's like, here's your season tickets.
I even like
the season
presentation that they came in, the boxes that they come in. The season tickets, those shits are badass too. Like those are like collector's items too. Like that first season when it came with like a replica of the stadium. No, one year.
Yeah, they're all like that now, and they all come. Who the fuck's the on switch at? See, it lights up and shit.
Yeah, that shit's badass.
That has all the Hall of Famers and all that bullshit.
Yeah, it's fucking bad, man. That's it. I need to get mine though, but fuck, man, you gotta in Vegas. You have to do the PCL shit, like all that.
That's why I was telling you. I don't judge people by if they go to games anymore, because financially it's so damn expensive. Like every time I go, like we have family there and things like that, and friends. I got friends in LA, so it's like I have somewhere to stay if I want to, and I'll usually drive. But it's like it's so expensive for people to go there. I mean, you're talking $500-$600 for a hotel, a few hundred on food, at least $500 to $1,000 for tickets. So by the time you're done, you're over like $2,000. Yes. And it's like, dude, like people can't afford that shit. So it's like that's the most upsetting thing to me. It's like I wish tickets were cheaper. Like I just
if I ever come to the States again, I will more than likely go to a LA game rather than a Vegas game. You know,
they're a lot cheaper.
And as it stands, like until we start to win and maybe the stadium gets more packed out, you're going to get more of a home field experience going to LA, unfortunately. So,
I mean, it would be nice though for like to come and just see the stadium. Though the stadium's nice. It is a nice fucking stadium though.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Yeah, and if you've never been to Vegas before, like Vegas used to be a shithole. It used to be hella dirty and gross. Yeah. And it's super clean now. Like you feel safe.
It's more family oriented. You can take your family.
I take my kids there all the time. I'm like, let's go to Las Vegas. I'm like, I never went to fucking Vegas when I was 6. Like, it's bullshit.
Yeah, because there was nothing for kids to do. Nothing but circus. And now it's like everything. There's a bunch of shit, dog. Like, you can go do all kinds of shit. Like, there's all kinds of concerts, magic shows, and like, like the New York shit. Like, it's just all kinds of crazy shit that you can do in Vegas. Shopping. It was just, the eating is a fucking, like, it's just, you can do so much shit there now. That it's more of a family town. That's why I think they had to do that though, to be able to get like professional like teams into their town. You know what I mean? Making it more a family oriented place and shit like that. But
plus it's good for tourism, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Hell yeah.
I guess each their own, but like for me, like my only care to come to the States now would be Raider football, and that's it. So
I wouldn't even just go see the.
I mean? I just want Raider
go
football
take the
experience.
tour. I wouldn't even just go take the tour.
Yeah,
You're
the
not even
tour is
gonna go
super cool too. Yeah. You can do a tour of the stadium, and then you can check out the headquarters in Henderson. It's not too far away, but the stadium tour is badass.
You can buy one of those little
the
it's like a little tile. Yeah, the little tiles that you could put in the front of the stadium, but you have to they're like $800 or something.
No, they were $1,500. I don't have one. I'm like, I'm not spending $15,000 to have my name on a brick.
Yeah. To have your name at the stadium. That's crazy. Yeah, like I wouldn't do that shit. I would do that shit unless like if that was like a wish for like say like a diehard fan that I knew or something like that. I say like it was like my like say like my brother. Say my brother, right? And like, you know, for some reason that he wanted that instead of like on the tombstone or something like that. Like, all right. Like if you ever pass away, I'll get that shit for you. Whatever.
Like I said, you go to Vegas, you go to a game, you will never feel so poor in your life with the people you're next to.
For real,
which pushes me even further towards if I come to the state, the LA.
No, I was saying earlier, like I paid, like there was these seats called the Win Club, and I paid like $500 per. And I turn around, and the booth behind me is Floyd Mayweather, and I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. And then like I've been there, like where there's like Randy Moss is in front of you. There's different like Raider players, like movie people, and you're just like, dude, it's a whole different vibe. It's like that uppity vibe. It doesn't remind me of LA. Like, you know, LA has famous fans, things like that. It reminds me of like a celebrity spot. So if there's some type of convention or a fight or like UFC, boxing, whatever the case may be, if there's something like that going on in Vegas, the whole back row of the Win Club and the suites are filled with like actors, actresses, singers and shit. So, I mean, it's cool. At the same time, it's like, I want to be next to, you know, Doug and say fuck you to the other team, you know? Like,
yeah, shit, we fucking got 2 hours already, man. Shit. Yeah, man, that shit's, I think that as far as this week, shit, we'll wrap it up right now, but I think we're all thinking win, right? But
W.
I just think
gotta be a W. We need it.
But we need it for sure. And I just think that the keys, man, you just gotta run the ball. Gotta start off fast. I mean, we did start off fast last week, but establish the run, more importantly. Even if we start off, you know, not too fast, even if we don't start scoring our first drive, but as long as we can get the running game going and just like be effective this week, I think that will go a long way.
Who gets the first TD tomorrow for us? Who do you think?
I'm going to say Jacobs.
I'm doing the same thing. I think they're going to feed him and get his confidence up.
There it is. Three-way.
If that's their weak spot, we got to take advantage of that and build some momentum, right? Like, you know, surely if we're going to get it done, this has got to be the week where Josh Jacobs and the offensive line on the run blocking side of things can get going and build some momentum moving forward. And hopefully that's the case. So I hope to see Jacobs getting the first TD.
Yeah, I see the same thing. I see Jacobs for sure. But yeah, man, fucking shit. Avocado, you got anything going, man? Shit, any shows you got going? Anything?
Yeah, I'll be doing a live over the weekend with my RWA guys with shout out to Red Joe and on 6.
Okay.
I believe will be when will it be? Sunday morning for you guys. So you know, the morning of the game when it doesn't clash with anybody else. But I appreciate you having me on. Thank you for your time. And Josh, nice to meet you. Sorry, I've never met you before. Can you tell me what's your channel? Where are you at?
I don't do a YouTube channel. I just do Instagram. So I hop on podcasts. Okay. So I don't know. I have like 19,000 people on my Instagram. But my thing is I go to every game. So I'm there all the time. Been a fan for years. People follow me everywhere. I just go out there and shit talk, and I'm always pulling pranks on people and stuff. So that's kind of where I got my following from.
So what's your IG handle?
It's the Goat 209. Somebody was posting it earlier.
Yeah,
consider yourself followed. One other thing, Gabe, I never got a chance to ask you. How's your dog going, man?
Oh yeah, he's back. He's back.
Okay.
He's a couple of days of where he wasn't wanting to eat. He didn't want to like use the restroom, nothing. But I kind of like, you know, had to give him like Pedialyte, you know, kind of like force it. You know what I mean? like, but he was drinking it. Like I was making sure that it was going down his throat, whatever. But
okay
just
now?
that he's okay now. Yeah, he started a couple of days after he started eating up by himself. Started, he went to the restroom, so he's all good now. Yeah, he's a lot better for sure, man. That was a big,
good to hear, bro.
Big for sure, man. Because that's my
Yeah, I know the feels, man. I'm a dog guy too. My dogs are like my children, so
that's
good to hear.
It's right there, like that. That's how it is right there on. Oh, right here, look. You can click on that link right there. There's this link right there.
I think I might already follow you.
But yeah, man. So for sure, man. I think this has been another fucking episode of Smokeout Hour, dog. But I think we're gonna go out and get the win this week, dog. But just tune in, dog. We're gonna be doing more shit. I think right now at like 8 o'clock. I think Lo's going with his Vader fan show, so he's gonna be doing that. So if you guys want to go catch that shit, it'll be right now, like in about 35 minutes. So go catch that shit too. But yeah, man, just subscribe, put a like to the channel. But yeah, man, just let's go out and get this one, man. And just it's been another, you know what I mean? Raiders, man. Raider Nation for life, man. And that's it, man. Peace out, man.
Raiders, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Take care, gang.
You guys have a good one. You guys have a great night, man.
Me too.
For sure.
Hey, I know you don't smoke weed. I know this. But I'm gonna get you high today. Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Well, it's 420 somewhere.
About to start a little puff giving this motherfucker. I don't give a damn how high you get in mine. As long as you let me hit it.